Hello and welcome to the finale of the epic I-90 Surge. In the last few episodes, we introduced the 10 cars and teams racing across the longest highway in the USA, Interstate 90. We set out to see how the cars could handle over 3,000 miles across 13 states. It's been a heated battle in the first 2 days. Cars like the Porsche Taycan have insane charging speed and consistency, whereas the BMW i7 is way behind because of its brick-like shape and now throttled charging with that pesky DC counter. The new Teslas had to deal with suboptimal older chargers, while the old Tesla is just petering along consistently, but obviously behind the rest of the pack. Most teams have made their way through the Midwest, and they're closer together than you might have thought. Join us now as we enter the third and final day to see just how capable and competitive these teams and cars can be.
The I-90 Surge is brought to you by Exter. Exter has made my favorite wallet for years, genuinely, and this is the new Cardholder Pro. Made from 100% recycled aluminum, I can push this metal trigger right here and fan out my card stack. It can hold up to 14 cards now, in addition to these, extra card carrying capacity right here. Exter also makes a full range of accessories, this one being my favorite, and it integrates perfectly with Apple Find My. So if I leave my wallet behind, boom, can find it on a map. Head to the link in the description below and use code OUTOFSPEC at checkout, and I appreciate Exter for sponsoring the Surge.
This video is brought to you by Autel Energy. Autel is a fully vertical manufacturer powering up your electric cars with a wide range of chargers, from residential AC chargers to commercial DC chargers up to 640 kilowatts and upcoming MCS offerings. Head to autelenergy.com to find the right EVSE for you.
Do you want to commemorate the I-90 Surge? All 10 of these cars went across the country in the most epic race of team optimization, efficiency, and charging that you've ever seen.
Whoa, where did they get that sweet shirt?
Great question. Head to shop.outofspecstudios.com and grab yours today. Wow, this guy's really on it. We have a variety of colors to choose from. Oh, and you like this hat? Well, that's over there too.
Yeah, I already got it.
Dang, that was fast. Just like our team.
Man, I love it.
Things are going great. We're finally back to V3 superchargers, like 10 minutes or less charging. They're right off the highway. It's been really great. I also wanted to give a status update. So up in front, of course, is the Acura. They are actually 3 hours, 11 minutes ahead. About an hour and a half behind them is the Porsche, which, again, that's pretty nuts. So I'm just going to be using the Porsche as reference from there. About an hour behind the Porsche is the Model 3. 40 minutes behind the Model 3 is the Lucid. We're 9 minutes behind that, and the Hyundai is 5 minutes behind us, maybe. Mercedes is a good bit back, and then, of course, the BMW and Genesis and old Tesla are way further back.
Guys, of course, Autel has been a huge supporter of Out of Spec and sponsoring the I-90 Surge, but they're not just sponsoring it, they're joining Dan Kame on the drive, as you've seen through the series, and we really wanted to end, or at least showcase, some of my favorite Autel products here in the last video. Autel makes everything from AC chargers up to high-power DC charging, getting into the megawatt level for next year. We spoke about that. However, this is my favorite piece of charging equipment that I currently have. It's all thanks to you, Dan. This is my 40 kilowatt Autel compact, DC compact unit. And Dan's here to tell us a little bit about their DC offerings.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is our DC compact, 40 kilowatts total output, or do 40 kilowatts to one vehicle, or 20-20 split. And it's nice that we have both units here, because this is kind of showing the step up. So 20 kilowatt power modules in this, same 20 kilowatt power modules that we use in that. So, this is the big boy. We fully equipped this one for you. So, full 240 kilowatts, all 12 power module slots are filled. This is actually a really good use case for the real world, in that, like, we faced setbacks on the actual deployment of that.
That has been a pain to install, not for any fault of yours, just because of our power issues over here.
Yeah, and it's, this is like the perfect example, because as you're facing permitting setbacks, that type of thing, something like this, you put in the Hubble three-phase connector. A lot of facilities that already have three-phase power, they either already have the connector, or it's very easy to install and put in, and then you can quick deploy this if you need for charging your fleet or anything like that. And then as you're waiting for, you know, permitting, that type of thing to get the big one installed.
What's really cool between these two units is not only do they share power modules, they have the same or similar software interface, connectivity. I've been lucky enough to have the back end to this as well. I did a full review on this unit, and you guys can see that on our reviews channel. I'll make sure it's linked below, and you can just go so crazy remote diagnosing everything, looking at charging curves. It's awesome. So it's not just the hardware, it's the software and the support that you get from Autel, which is why I always highly recommend their, especially DC charging products.
Yeah, and you know, we you know, Autel Diagnostics, that's where we, you know, that's our bread and butter. We've been doing that for about 20 years now. And you know, we built everything from the ground up ourselves, but we wanted to make it so that all of our experience on the automotive diagnostic side is built into all of our chargers. So we can remotely diagnose about 95% of the components within the chargers without sending somebody on site. And then just the data. You know, the data that you get as an operator is so much value. And then the logs, in case there is maybe an interop issue with the vehicle, anything like that. If it's, you know, if you can't access that data quickly, it's difficult to actually diagnose what happened in that charging session to remedy it for future use. But all of our chargers, all that data we can see remotely.
So thank you again for the chargers. I love playing around with these things. Thanks for sponsoring the Surge, and thank you guys for watching. Let's get back to the action so you can see who wins at the end of this video.
Guys, our charging performance is definitely taking a nosedive, no question. We were just talking, the BMWs always have this flat 200 kilowatt charging curve.
What they are known for, so.
Yeah, and we are definitely not getting that. So we have our D rating, our DC D rating, and we can tell too, because we were kind of holding steady behind the cars and now they're pulling away exponentially. I mean, everyone is just walking us right now. And it's because our charging stops are getting longer and longer for the distance we can go. It's really frustrating, and it's taking forever. So what we are going to do is try and find an AC charger when convenient. I've never gone to AC charge during a cross-country trip to try and unlock the DC charging performance, but fingers are crossed. Do I have to pay now? They used to all be free.
We might be the first ones to AC charge on this race.
Okay, just a question. How did this AC charger just kick the fans on, but they haven't come on during DC charging other than a couple times this whole trip?
I don't know.
It's got to cool that onboard charger with all that 9 kilowatts right there of onboard conversion.
we will just settle in and be here for a while.
This is where we need the movie screen in the back because the movie theater's closed, so we got to have our own theater screen option.
All right, just like that, we are back on the road, getting out of Genoa, headed to Erie, Pennsylvania, 190 miles away, 191 miles when we started, 189 now. So just an update on our guessometer here and what was going on. We pulled in, shut the climate off, shut the car off, did a little quick micro reboot just to let it kind of reset itself. Plugged in, got charging, solid charging session.
Yeah,
pulled in at 6%. Left
no
it.
issues. It didn't really like derate really at any point. Like it maintained a solid speed, like as it should. It didn't drop or anything. So it was a good reboot. So.
Yep. Whatever it was, maybe it was the 36 hours into the trip. Maybe it was just a little bit too much all at once. I don't know. But we're back on. We're looking good.
All right, just a quick update. We are headed to Sheffield, Ohio, and we are, how far out are we there?
24 minutes out.
24, how many miles?
23.
23 miles outside of Sheffield, Ohio, and we'll pull in right at 4 a.m. I've had a great nap. Alex, great job driving this leg.
Thanks.
This is the graveyard death shift, and I'm slurring my words, but I am slowly coming out of a coma here. And yeah, a little bit of rain, but nothing crazy. The rake of this windshield Lucid plus the Rain-X on there, you don't even need the windshield wipers, which is pretty good.
Really?
So yeah, so we're going to be pulling in to Sheffield.
And right on, we're showing 1 mile of range on arrival, so
yeah,
pushing it as usual.
So we've got the Porsche out front, we've got the Model 3 long range right in front of us, and when I say right in front, consistently staying in second place. We've got right behind us the Plaid, then the Ioniq, and so we're staying in this zone of third place. So I think what we want to do is, as soon as we hit that 200 kilowatts and it breaks below there, we're gonna unplug. If we can figure out, maybe we can figure out the next stop. But I think we've got some good choices between here and Buffalo.
It has been 2 minutes, 20 seconds.
That's the first time I've heard that in a while.
I know the fans are ripping right now.
Wow.
So let's just hope that's enough. So let's go back to the DC charger and see if that fixed anything. Okay, and full skids. Autocross style. You can get the big boat to move.
Absolutely. You're clear. Come on, baby.
All right, now the moment of truth.
Come on.
Did the AC charge reset the counter? Are we going to get high power DC charging?
This is a very scientific experiment.
What do you think?
I'm optimistic because that blower came on.
Okay.
That's the first time we've heard that blower come on. That's a change, right?
Yeah, we haven't really heard the fans
That's a
kick on
change.
ever there.
So something in the system said, I'm thirsty. Very quick.
Did the message come up?
Yeah, the message is still
The message is still there, but we're doing 150.
It'll probably wrap up.
It'll pull the voltage up, but 160 now at 47. So that is way better than before.
Yep.
Okay, I think the big telltale will be, will it hold it? Because now that pack voltage is coming up, we're dropping. Yeah, we're dropping hardcore.
Man.
So let's see what happens now that pack voltage is coming up, and we really probably won't know until the next charging stop. It's a little bit better than before, 50%, 120 kilowatts, and it's way better than when we were getting 80, weren't we doing 87 or 89 kilowatts at 50%?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll know next charging stop. We'll see how long we hold 200 for. But so now we need to charge just enough to make it to that rest stop.
Yep.
Okay, but that was really worth it, at least. Worth the effort, because it's not like we're losing our place to the Model S.
No.
They're pretty far behind us, and we're pretty far behind everyone else. We're in our own little bubble of BMW incompetence at the moment. Not incompetence of chassis tuning or NVH or comfort, just battery and charging and efficiency. But I actually don't care about the efficiency. Just put a big battery in it if it's going to be efficient. William looked up the curve, and we are tapering harder than we should still, so we're thinking it didn't really do anything. And of course, we still have the power reduced message. There is a remote software upgrade, but I'm not here to stop our race to upgrade their car. 141 miles. Says we have 166 to go at 55%. Let me do a little bit of quick math, and then we can go.
All right, so we are preconditioning at, we turned it on manually at 5%. It did not turn on, even though we were navigating to the station, Sheffield. We're currently now 9.7 miles away from Sheffield, and we are, let's just see, we've got a state of charge arrival of 0%, which is proper out-of-spec charging. Now, we're not concerned about this because we know this car's got super duper buffer, as proved by our very own KC Kyle Connor. So, and we have proven that out on this trip. So we've got the confidence now and the knowledge of this car that we're not backing off on the speed. We're not pushing it too hard. what are we doing? 75, 5 hours?
Yeah, just given the
5 hours?
conditions.
Yeah, with the rain,
Yeah.
I think it's good. But it's. I think if we can play the short hop game now and stay in front of the plaid strategically, that'll be good. So we've got Shane in the back seat. He's on it, figuring out what our next strategic stop is. And when we pull in, it's going to be run out, plug in, and let's see what we get.
Another check-in from Team Model S, also known as Team No Autopilot or Basic Cruise Control. We are 28 miles towards our next exit and 34 miles to the next charger. Decided to try to bring up our cameras and see what's missing, and you'll notice our right repeater camera has stopped functioning. So we are going to attempt to troubleshoot it when we get to the next supercharger so that we do not lose any more time. We did pull over into the shoulder really fast earlier, hit the brakes, threw it in park, put it back in drive and launched just to see if it would all turn back on, and we had no luck. Andy, how much fun is it to be driving a 1,000 horsepower car that can do 200 miles an hour without even basic cruise control in
the rain.
this kind of weather?
In the rain at 4 in the morning. Slightly tired. It's fun. I mean, you can do it. We did it.
Got some Ohio things happening over there.
What?
Oh. One wiper works. One wiper doesn't have a blade. Oh man, welcome to Cleveland. And as we're finding our charger, we hit 2,500 on the car odometer, almost 2,500 on the trip, which means we are nearing the final stretches here. The teams are all scattered. We'll do a location update here after this charge, but we are second place in the EVs. I don't know where the Acura is. No one really knows where the Acura is. It's somewhere up ahead.
We're 2,300 miles into this trip. This is about the point where the Coast to Coast EV truck race ended, and we've got another 700 miles to go. I think we're all ready for this to be over.
Oh yeah.
And we just crossed into Ohio. This is the first non-Electrify America stop of the whole trip. It took all the way in Ohio to get to it. It's a Pilot Flying J EV Go.
Oh, I heard it. I heard a fan kick on.
Don't make Electrify America look good.
Right. I think it already did. Attempt number 2, because that charger
Never initialized.
wasn't working.
Okay,
Jeez.
that was painful.
Man, I can't believe people argue with me online, but that, you know, the CCS connector is fine. This is not fine.
Oh, checking cable safety
It went
right
straight
away.
to 2 of 3. That seems weird.
It skipped one though, so that...
Yeah, exactly.
Checking cable safety. Okay.
Click.
Oh, I heard a
Yeah.
small click. Oh. No, you give it.
That was premature.
You give hugs at Love's, not Flying J.
Yay! 9%.
Oh, wow.
Ooh! EV Go! We can see voltage and stuff.
Ah.
Nice. Where's our power?
This is going to be our best charge session of the whole trip.
162, 163. Okay.
It's probably going
525
to
volts.
sit at 320 volts.
320 amps.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
Sweet. Unlike the last one, this one is double-sided, so you can park on any side, even though we made it work. Arriving with 6% at 3:46 a.m. All right, this should be our fastest, shortest charge yet, I think. Only 10 minutes here. Stretch some legs.
All right, so about 5 minutes left on this charge. Got the route fully optimized. We are doing basically 15-minute stops at 250, or aka V3 superchargers, to get us to the USS Constitution Museum by 3 p.m., maybe earlier. We've been shaving a little bit of time off that, even with our existing driving. This route is interesting. There are a lot of chargers out here. Of course, there's a lot of people out here, but definitely a few V2s, and the route guidance actually initially tried to pick some of those. So I guess you got to keep an eye out if you're up in the Northeast, especially in rural areas like upstate New York and such. But I think we have it perfectly optimized here. That's the absolute best ETA we could get, which equates to just under 49 hours, I think. Blazing. That was like our fastest stop yet. Less than 10 minutes, was it? Yeah, 8 minutes.
Sick.
Very nice.
All right.
8 minute stop.
Where are we going?
Same. Yep, same as came in. Nice. Super MCAT.
All right, I actually caught you that time plugging it in.
Yeah, it's a little harder when it's wet.
3:52 a.m. or something like that. I hear the connectors. Oh, you can hear the boxes way over there. So our next move after this is going to be Fredonia, New York.
I think that's the idea.
All right.
So all we need is 50%.
50%, and then we're out of here. Oh, look at that, 225 already. All right, so not the best charging session here. We're at 10%, and I say we're only pulling 275, but we don't have anything higher than, we did not see over, this is the peak we're seeing right here. They just saw 276 at 11%. Not worth unplugging because these EA handshakes they do take a long time. So we're gonna stay in this trade. We're not gonna unplug, and we're gonna go to 50%. So that's the deal here. Again, you gotta really think these things through. It may be the unit. I mean, we preconditioned, and we were at a battery temperature 35.6 degrees Celsius, which is pretty good. It could have been a little more toasty, perhaps. Yeah, we're splitting hairs here. I think we're going to stay in this trade. So there's 4 chargers here, and they're all 350s, but you'll notice one of them is unavailable. So clearly there might be some issue with the site here, why we weren't able to pull, north of 300 like we've been saying. But again, still a very solid performance all throughout this trip from Electrify America. In my opinion, a huge change from what we've experienced in the past. And so this is a great result.
All right, we are 3 miles from our next supercharger. We know it's Electrify America. Yeah. We know for a fact that the Lucid just got there a few minutes ago to plug in. We are doing much quicker charging sessions than they are, where they're going deeper than driving longer distances. We are going shorter stops and doing shorter distances. Now, again, we still don't have autopilot or basic cruise control. So we are going to try to get this figured out while we're at this stop, while we're also doing a short, quick, and fast charging session, and at the same time also needing a bathroom break. This is getting real interesting. Right, Andy?
Yeah, it's not easy to EV.
Yeah.
There's not enough time when you charge.
That's what happens when we turn the right blinker on, because our right repeater camera is not currently functioning.
Well, would you looky here? We got to stay in front of these guys. They are playing the game hard with CCS. What state of charge you at?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I like that. And I don't believe that either.
We don't have autopilot.
No autopilot.
No auto control. What?
We are fully manual.
What?
In our 1,000 horsepower supercar that can do 200 miles per hour.
I'm sure you've done a reset?
Not yet. We're going to here because we got to keep the data.
Yeah.
So we're going to see. We figured it out by troubleshooting and looking at our cameras. we lost the right front repeater.
Okay.
So hoping a reset will do it here once we get charging.
This is only for professionals, you know that.
That's the truth. And one of our professionals is sleeping in the back seats.
Don't try this at home.
What is that?
Don't try this at home.
No, don't try this at home.
We are professionals.
Only on the road.
Are we charging?
I'm optimistic that you're going to reset everything once you do the button hold down dance there.
Yeah, if we're charging, go for it. I gotta go find a restaurant.
Yeah.
We are gonna go ahead and attempt a reboot to see if we can get the cameras to return and get our autopilot and cruise control function back. We're currently charging at 204 kilowatts. The Lucid is right next to us. I think I overheard them saying that they were charging really slowly and they're worried that they've overdone it. I'm hopeful because if you zoom in on them real quick, you will see how concerned they are. Fingers crossed. Huh? Fingers crossed. We may be in trouble, gentlemen.
Oh, no.
We may be in real trouble.
Didn't come back on?
It did not come back on.
So it's not going to, just completely
600
no to 1 kW.
Yeah, it did hit 600 volts.
Up to 600 volts.
It's already dropping, 134.
Yeah.
As far as amenities goes, this has been one of the best stops of the trip, if not the best.
Not bad.
Even though the first charger didn't work, we should just go ahead and unplug. It's the 128. We can make it to the next stop. In session.
Ready?
Wait for it to stop. Dominic, be patient. Okay.
No premature
Hold on.
disconnection.
Oh, I was gonna kick it. All right. Let's get out of here. The next stop's 140 miles away. We picked another pilot flying J. This one in, I think, Avon, Ohio, on this side of Cleveland. This means nothing to you. You don't know where we are. We were going to go to an Electrify America at a Sheetz on the opposite side of Cleveland, but it was 190 miles away. And given we stretched it to make it 180 miles with stop and go traffic in the middle, we figured we best not try that. So we're going to go 150 miles away to the Pilot Fly J. And we know a lot of amenities because that's what they're good at. And they're open 24/7, unlike the Sheetz.
Pricey though.
Yeah, so we pulled in here and the battery was at 34 degrees Celsius. Now it's at 56 degrees Celsius. We're at a 50% state of charge, pulling 132 kilowatts, but we're only showing an arrival in Fredonia at 1%. We need a little more buffer than that. So we are going to stay on the hook probably for another 5%. I know that's time, but what we've got our real competition right over there, the Model S, and they pulled in very low in the pack. They're having issues right now. Now we're showing a 3% state of arrival.
Yeah, I say we let that go up to 55.
We're gonna, yeah, let's not fool around and let it go to 55. We're at 51% state of charge right now, and the reason why I think we could feather it in, but the reason why we're gonna stay on the hook is because the real goal right now is, well, to maximize this car for sure, but I do not want that Plaid coming in third place, assuming the Model 3 and the Taycan don't swap positions. The Model 3 was closing in on the Taycan, from what I could see on the distance on the Life 360 app. So pretty amazing.
Okay, we are resetting the driver assistance system through service mode because we have lost a camera. All right, we are good to go. Now we need to get planning our next stop. Kyle, you're a genius, my friend. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we did a bit of a reset procedure. What's our current status update?
Well, status update is we are getting ready to get out of here. The beautiful thing is we have cameras again.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Which means we have cruise control again. So we can be a lot more efficient and we can actually hit our time that we had expected. Because of that, we absolutely lost some time because feathering the throttle on a 1,000 horsepower car is ridiculous. Not that it's like uncontrollable or anything like that, but any little bit of pressure or input, this thing will just continue accelerating, no problem. So keeping speed right at the limit of where we want it to be, you're going down, up, and you're just losing mileage and losing distance covered. So the Lucid is already gone. We were hoping to get out of here at the same time as them. Unfortunately, we didn't. But we're going to be out of here in just a few minutes. They were only able to charge up to about 50%.
because they were being pretty derated. So we got a shot, especially now that we got cruise control back. Yeah. So let's get this going. Let's win it.
Oh look, it's another Culver's. Oh yeah. Those superchargers are right behind it.
47. 122 was our peak.
122, alrighty.
This is the first time we've had like an actual conveniently placed charger at a restaurant, especially one like this. The other Culver's we had to just about go out of our way for. But very nice spot. Got Denny's there. Yeah, good spot. They can add like another row of chargers here and still have parking for the restaurant.
We are about to cross into New York. We don't know where the sign is, but it's got to be coming up here pretty soon. The little jaunt through Pennsylvania was pretty short because it's just a little edge along Lake Erie. There it is. Welcome to New York. We are now in New York, one of the very last states, the last big state of this trip. We have the charging stop we're going to, and then one more after that.
The headwind is really affecting our state of charge on arrival. We charged with plenty of buffer and we're an hour away and it shows a 0% arrival right now. So I've dropped the speed to 75. We can always drop a little bit more if needed. Just trying to stabilize our arrival SOC right around 0%. Chris is just gonna do a quick driver swap with me. Appreciate it. We were already up and we just pulled off the highway here. We've just got a couple people with questions, a little logistical stuff, especially as Boston's waking up. I gotta get a little bit of work done. And yeah, we should all be good. So.
I'll start them first.
Yeah.
There we go.
And we're ready to rock. So we've got about an hour to go and we have, the car says an 18% arrival, but we're at 18% state of charge. So that's dumb. We'll reset that. And
well, you had a nice ride behind a truck today.
Yeah, yeah, that truck helped. Now it says 0% arrival. There we go. So we have a 2-mile buffer that he'll manage. So we can't do much more than 68 miles an hour right now.
All right, Adam taking us off I-90 here, exiting for Erie, Pennsylvania supercharger. Jordan is asleep back there. So we arrive with 2%. Perfect remaining buffer. Here they are, beautiful, sweet. And it's by A Sheets. We love Sheets. Awesome. All right. Adam is plugging us in. Let's check the speeds. This is gonna be a short stop. Ramping up 162 already. Was it showing preconditioning? I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it either.
Okay.
We are pulling in now at 2% state of charge. Wonderful driving there. It is wet outside. It did rain. There's the supercharger, but we are heading over here to the EA station. We can pick any one you want, except for the one all the way on the end. So any of the newer ones here. And you can honestly just pull in straight into this spot. And we'll just plug it in.
How cool is that?
That's kind of cool. Yeah, so right here on the left.
Here,
yep.
You got it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Perfection. Here we go. We are plugged in and hopefully charging here in a moment. Going through the process. Haven't looked to see what our next stop will be, but this is so convenient. Just coming right off the highway, popping here. That's the way it should be done. That's really nice. Getting close to sunrise and we are charging. Man, we've had really awesome charging.
Yeah.
It's been really good. I mean, not the speeds, but just the...
But just the...
Yeah.
Working.
Yep, just working.
And
great.
Once we had to move from not working.
So now the question is, will the AC have helped? So the best thing about these EA stations that are right off the highway, well, we can just hop, boom, 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 and there's another one 56 miles up the road. So we're going to charge up, honestly, just until we come off of max speeds and then head to that one. But there's Starbucks here, so we're going to run in and get some Starbucks. And
there's a cat. Hello.
Here we are at the Pilot Flying J in Pembroke. I actually got a nap for the first time in the whole drive. This is our second to last stop. After this, we're going to the EA at a Denny's somewhere else in New York that I can't remember the city name. And then that should be our last charge before the end in Boston. We are very hyped, very excited. This is amazing. Getting good power, rolled in at 7%. Already almost to 300, so that's great. This will be a pretty deep one because I think it's like 200 to the next one, and then another almost 200 to the
So
to the end.
Will both be
pretty deep.
Yep.
Sweet. And of course, like I showed already, we're under a canopy. The Flying J is right by the freeway. I love you, Flying J. Please, more like this. Thank you.
It is 6 a.m. Well, actually like 6:03 a.m. and Starbucks should be opening, but she seems to be a little bit slow getting going, which is fine. It is raining now at the moment. So we're trying to balance, do we wait for coffee or do we go to the next one? It's only, like I said, less than an hour down the road. We need to make sure we have enough juice to make it. But for some reason, the EA app's being a little bit buggy for me. So here we are, 30%, 150 kilowatts. We got to go. If we're going to go, we are certainly still in our DC derating period, so it's time to go. I will, I'll get in the car and drive us, but we've got to go. Yep. Yeah, it's just, less than an hour, 45-minute drive, something like that. But at least we can keep the car in the fast charging window if we do this. At least the BMW still hits kind of peak speeds down low. So we just need to keep it right on the bottom of the pack. And then we'll be okay. So we've got navigation on. These stops being right off the highway are incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah, it looked really good.
We're going to set battery preconditioning manually because I don't have it in the system right now. So activate preconditioning, and we're going to go to the other side of Toledo.
All right, and just like that, Team Ionic is back on track. A perfect charge session and a completely optimized 190 miles. Rolling in at 1% with 2 miles of buffer. We did the rest of our route planning on this stretch too, and we are looking at this stop and 2 more charging stops, and we will be in Boston. Are we at a 350? Are we at a 350? That's a 150. Just pull into this other spot right over there.
Do I need to back in?
No, just pull in all the way forward.
I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't think it'll reach? Oh boy. A lot of talking about them.
Back into that one.
Hold on.
Which one?
Take a quick look. See if it. Oh yeah, that probably won't work. Good news is it's like 6:20 in the morning and nobody in their right mind is at a Walmart charging it in Electrify America in Erie, Pennsylvania right now.
Everybody in their right mind would be here right now. What are you talking about?
Take 3 on the ports. Luckily nobody's here. We got one 350 that looks to be no bueno. I didn't see a 350 offline in the app. I did see, however, that there was one of the combo units I thought that was offline. I did see on the app, come on. So on the app, it shows this handle is offline, but that's good. But we do have either a screen dead, we're not gonna chance it, pulled it around, get it going over here. There we go, okay. Yep, it shows we're at 214, already at 4%, 216.
We're only 4 minutes away from our next stop. I'm glad we didn't try to stretch it to the sheets, the Electrify America on the other side of Cleveland, because we would not have made it. I think there's a headwind and it's been raining most of this time. Our efficiency in the last leg has been abysmal. 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour. So this was the perfect distance for this stop, and we're arriving with just under 18%, which on EGMP, perfect. You don't want to arrive with less than 10%. You get slower speeds, man. Another reason I'm glad we didn't go to the Sheets is because the Pilot is open 24 hours. The Sheets would be closed right now.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Pilot.
Left, then turn right.
I see the blue glow of the EVgo. Oh, that handle's on the ground. I'm gonna pick a different. Oh, that's the friggin'. That's not the gear shift knob. What a stupid design flaw. It's skip number 1. That means it's gonna work.
Right.
We have one experience, so we know that now. I didn't precondition on this run, but it's like 67 degrees outside, so we shouldn't need to. It only preconditioned when it got down to like 55 in the car, and it only preconditioned for like 5 miles out from the charger. So we should be good.
Oh, good charge.
Yeah.
Session details?
Yeah. Look at all the details.
Details. Awesome.
Such an odd voltage of battery pack.
Yeah. 520. It climbs up to what? 6?
Yeah, 600 is the highest we've seen it, so it probably goes just over 600. Hurry up and wait.
Yep.
Woo!
It'd be really nice if we had some type of canopy for coverage.
Yeah.
Only those people get coverage.
Most of these Pilot Flying J's do have canopies, but some of the early ones in Ohio just don't.
Alrighty. Team Tesla Plaid here with a regained capability of having autopilot and cruise control. And Matt is driving right now. Our strategy is to hop onto this charger here. It's a 250 kilowatt charger. And once we get there, map out our next stop and possibly hopping from one charger to another, just riding the charging curve and try to see if we can optimize it to gain a little bit of bound. Anything you want to say?
I think the next one that we're looking at was only about 68 or 70 miles. So this is going to be a really fast charging stop. So I think all we're going to do is flip drivers and go as quick as we can.
Talking about as quick as we can.
Yeah.
We can't right now.
Great timing. Go, 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 go.
And here we go, sending it.
All right, it worked. We are plugged in at Erie, Pennsylvania, if you can believe it. We are ramping up nicely. Let's take a look at our stats. We are at 2,566 miles all in so far for this trip. That is mind-blowing.
Used a little bit more because it's raining, so there's more water resistance on the road.
Yep. Now let's go ahead and get that next charger picked.
Yes.
92 miles. Looks like our next stop is going to be, however you say that,
Supercharger.
Yep. All right. We'll be back in touch when we are out of here.
We're coming into our next charging stop here. Where's this one? Janesville, Wisconsin. Just getting off the exit here. I should be pulling in soon.
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 5:30 a.m.
What do we get here? 8%.
8% at 529.
110, 120, 124.
124. Consistent.
Yep.
Alrighty. We'll top up here and then on to the next.
We are there. We are leaving Cheektowaga. No, that's where we are heading. We are leaving wherever we are now. I can't even remember at this point.
It blends all in after almost 3,000 miles of driving.
Yeah, I don't even have an idea how many times we've charged. Okay, we're in Erie, Pennsylvania, and we are out of here. So, next stop is this one. Team Model S Plaid. We may have overcharged, but we'll see because we're getting hit with some pretty heavy rain.
69%, we're gonna unplug in 1 percentage point. It'll take a second before it unlocks.
This is the very first time I've allowed myself to feel the end of this. We have 2 more charging stations left. Victor, New York, just between Buffalo and Rochester, Albany, and then USS.
It's officially been 40 hours since we pulled out of the Seattle parking lot.
40 hours, 30 hours, 35 hours of driving, 2,553 miles we've driven so far. It's been real.
It's been a journey.
It's been real.
It's been a good journey.
901 arrival in Victor. I hope the Jersey Mike's is open because I am starving.
Yeah, at least we're not in the I-7 condition. You know, we've had a pretty good experience with these. And like you guys said, like this was a pretty affordable car, so to get the performance out of like this value is pretty good.
Very good. I've been impressed with this thing. I've been very impressed with it.
I've been very impressed with just like the comfortability. Like this is a good road trip.
The comfortability?
Look, we're, you know what? After 2,553 miles, we earned the right to make up words.
I think mainly just like the amount of space back here. Like this is a fun road tripping car. I like it a lot. It was a good car.
No.
Oh, wrong way. That was very much so do not enter.
All right, we'll see you guys in Victor.
Little position update. There's really no competition for us. We are firmly at the back of the pack in front of only the BMW and the old Model S. But at the very front of the pack, obviously, is the Acura. And then behind them is the Porsche, almost all the way to Rochester, New York already. Behind them is the Model 3, then the Lucid, then the Plaid, and in a tight grouping, the Plaid, Ioniq 6, EQS, and then the EQS is 103 miles ahead of us. Wow, that makes me sad. And the BMW is 86 miles behind us.
Okay.
And that makes me happy.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's gained like some miles though, right?
No, he was 50 miles behind us.
Oh, I thought it was like 100 miles the last time.
And the old Model S is still in Wisconsin?
Oh.
367 miles? How's that possible? I thought they'd be at least in Illinois by now. I'm like, we're about to be 3 states ahead of them. Oh, that's fun. Okay, now we're charging to 80% as always in this car, and then we're gonna go 168 miles to another Pilot Flying J. No, I'm wrong. It's a Walmart. It's an Electrify America to Walmart. Yep.
Our favorite.
Oh, it's done the nap thing. It's at 10 amps. I said we're gonna go get back in the car. 20 minutes. That's not bad at all. This is actually, despite being like near the back of the pack, this is a freaking great road tripper.
Good morning from the Tesla Model S Plaid. We are looking at a beautiful sunrise over northeast Pennsylvania. That's what it is saying here. Oops. So, this is interesting, right? We just finished up a charge and I was looking at it. We spent right at 8 minutes below highway speed, off the highway, plugged into the charger, and back up to full speed. It did it in 8 minutes, and we were able to get actually a little too much electricity to get to our next charger, which was at the time just over 90 miles away. So we plugged in, got back on the highway. We could have got it just a touch faster because we got about 4% more battery than we needed. But it is 6:45 in the morning. We are, let's see, 2,584 miles into this trip. And we have 523 miles remaining. This has been the experience of a lifetime. What do you think, Andy?
I like it. I road trip quite often, up to 3 times a year between Atlanta and California. So road tripping in an EV, I'm doing this since 2015. And in a Tesla all the time, so I might have a little bit of an advantage here, but yeah. It's fun. I like it. I love it. And it's a good use right now.
Well, with what we're seeing, we're going to need to take every advantage we can get. We are still neck and neck with the Lucid and the Hyundai. We were able to pass the Hyundai at this last charger because I think our supercharger is a little closer than the next CCS charger. So they're about 10 minutes behind us. The Lucid is about 15 minutes ahead of us. So this is going to get real interesting real quick because we have just been leapfrogging each other probably for the last 1,000 miles.
Yeah, I would say so. It's like a middle field in the way.
Absolutely.
We are at 9%. It is 6:44, and we are starting up. What did it say we needed to get to?
87.
Okay, so well, higher than that.
Full charge, basically.
Yep. We should have sunrise starting here soon. We're at a little bit, you probably can't tell, what with all the lights and stuff, but we got a little bit of light coming up.
One fun fact. ETA, 10 hours.
56 cents per kilowatt hour. Were it not free on the Mercedes-Me charging plan. And look at that, $195.
All right, well, here we are in Fredonia. That was a bit of a challenging leg for me. I was sleepy, but we made it. Let's see, we're gonna change the handles, and there's 2 units here, 2 and 2, so you got a 150, one's a Chatamo combo unit, the other is a 150, and then you also have 2 350s. One of the 350s is down, number 2. Number 3 doesn't indicate that it's down, but we tried charger handle number 1 first, no good. Anything?
It's connecting.
It's connecting now. All right, hold up. All right, so yeah, the 350 definitely is not doing anything. So we're gonna put this back over here.
The screen isn't doing anything, but we can hear.
Yeah, so at least the 150 is powering up. It appears as if we're back in the Northeast with EA, and both 350s hosed, and this one 150 / Chatamo 50 looks like it's available.
If we're trying to get on a 350 kilowatt unit, unfortunately our next available one is in Cheektowaga. Normally they've got 3 350 kilowatt units, 2 of them are out of service. And they've got 1 available. And then they've got another 150 kilowatt.
All right, that's not worth going to. What about the one past that?
So then we're in Victor, which is where we were thinking of going anyway, I believe.
Okay.
So that one has 2, so 3 350s, 1 out of service, and then a 150 kilowatt unit. So I think.
And how far away is that?
It's like 120-ish miles.
Okay, I think we go there.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so let's do the math on how much juice we need.
Everyone is asleep in the I-7, but I'm pulling off to the EA station right here. 10% state of charge. We did overcharge a bit previously, but it's okay. Exact same layout as before, which works wonderfully. So we'll go get over and get this thing plugged in and charging once again. We have arrived. 10%. Little high, but that's okay. Really quick, easy run, just about 40 minutes of driving, but we can keep the battery in the sweet spot, and it's right off the highway. This is perfection. It's funny how this is basically an identical station, but yeah, a little bit different layout in terms of which one has the old Chatamo unit, which one doesn't. But anyway, we are plugged in and charging. 190. That's what it wants. 191. That was worth it. Glad we did the little splash and dash. Now, let's go get some coffees. We are charging and charging well. This is working out wonderfully. Totally worth the splash and dash. We're going to continue east. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to stop. I'm going to look it up, get it in the nav, and we're going to try and blast out of here. Chris went to go get some Starbucks for us. We really need the caffeine. I think we are really tired in this car for some reason, but the driver assistance has been great. I've had no issues driving, but I'm definitely tired.
tired, ready for a nap. William's gonna take on this leg, and the sun should be coming up here any moment.
All right, so welcome back to the Northeast. We've got 2 out of the 4 EAs down, and of course they're both the 350s. What's interesting here is that at least charger number 2 says unavailable, right? Thank you very much. But charger number 3, it's saying become a member, and it looks like it's all up and running, and it's not. It says plug in first. That unit doesn't work. We tried both handles, no go. Charger 4, it's putting out 174. Are we still pulling 174?
Yes, sir.
We're still, okay, so it's a very flat charging curve. We're gonna go to what, Shane, 40%?
So we only need 28% stated charge to reach Victor.
28% of charge.
I think 5% arrivals are what we need. So
what do you think, 35?
Yeah, 35.
35 and leave, okay. Yeah. All right, there's our plan. We're gonna be, so we're at 29, we're gonna leave at 35, and that's it. Good morning, it's Sunday morning. No mistakes, no mistakes. Let's just keep on the game here. All right, we're at 34%, guys, get ready. We're gonna unplug at 35. Let's see, still pulling 170, there we go. All right, come on, baby. Come on, there we go. All right, we are out of here.
Okay, we have about 75 miles to go on the next leg, so the coffees have arrived just in time. That's perfect. Okay, wonderful. Okay, 145 kilowatts. We want to get back to high speed. You can jump in and get settled. So we have 94 miles, 35%. We're gonna go. Sounds good?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do it. Yep, we were here in 9 minutes. Perfection. Time to roll. That's awesome. So 75 miles to the next one. Car says 7% arrival. That's great. We just need to ride the bottom end of this pack now.
Let's follow that sign.
Yep, and William is at the helm.
All right, so as the sun is coming up, no longer raining out, which is good. We pulled in at a 4% stated charge, immediately went to 174 kilowatts on the 150. Unfortunately, after trying 2 separate handles on the 350, one of them said no good. The other one said it was good, and it wasn't, so they lied. Back to the Northeast for EA, back to the old ways. So we had a very consistent linear curve all the way up to 35% at 174. We unplugged, and now we're on our way to Victor. We're going to be doing short hops here as the strategy goes. How many miles is it to Victor, Shane?
115.
115. What does it say we're going to arrive state of charge at?
7.6.
7.6. All right, so normally we burn the juice, but all we can do is maximize the 10 over, and that's about it. No deer last night that I saw, which was amazing compared to, oh boy, the other night. It was like a deer convention going on out there, and I think they were all males.
Slingshotting our way into another charging stop. Love having the rear screen, which tells me, the passenger, how long until our next stop. So I don't have to keep asking, are we there yet? Done this a few times, haven't you? Wow, that's like 2.1 seconds F1
Probably
stop.
won't take that.
Holy crap. Ramping up nicely because it was preconditioning, of course. And
trash can, perfect.
all right.
All right, after 45 minutes, we have gone from 9 to 96% and gotten 101 kilowatt hours of electricity. That's a lot. That is like 1 1/3 of those ID4s. So we've got a lot fully charged, and it's still pulling 46, which I think is more than his was pulling at like 50%. So cool. Fantastic. So it is 7:32, and we are, as they say, on the road again. And we are in efficient, no, eco. We're in eco. and we're going 300 miles. And since we just filled 100 kilowatt hours, and we're getting 333 watt hours per mile, that should be just about 300 miles. One more charging stop if we did everything correctly, which I think we did.
5% is the buffer we're going with. Let's see if it actually stays that way.
It's a Magic Dog. Just realized.
Oh, Magic Dog. Very nice. Wonder if anyone else will use it. Maybe not. Not the most convenient to get to. But well done. Stops at optional in parking lots. Oh, nice. 6% buffer. We're good.
Oh, see, it's the driving stuff.
Super good, yep. Very nice. Green light.
We have a lot of charger availability in this part of the country, so we are pretty much easy to just able to pick them at will and pick the distance we want. We are plugged in. Plugged in. And shaking. And we are charging.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Model S Plaid. I wanted to give us a quick update. We just left Chica Ace Hound with a supercharger. And we actually didn't have the greatest experience. We plugged in and it started charging very quickly, but we only reached a peak speed of 197 kilowatts. It was a version 3 supercharger, so we should have gotten 250. Now, 53 kilowatts is not the end of the world, but it's not our peak speeds. I'd also like to mention a little while ago, I think a couple stops ago, 3 stops ago, somewhere in Ohio, we also had a slightly derated version 3 supercharger. We only hit about 220 kilowatts instead of the 250. With that being said, if we take a look at our stats, we've driven 2,600 miles, and it's taken that long for us to find 2 Tesla superchargers that were working slightly suboptimally. It'd be awesome if all of them were perfect, but this is still pretty impressive in my opinion.
Yep. And very likely if we would have moved, we would have perhaps gotten 250, but the time we lose of unplugging, moving the car over, plugging in, and maybe it's another one, it's not really worth it.
Yeah, we took the gamble that it would be about even on the time spent rather than moving and then potentially it having been a D-rated cabinet with all 4 of those because the rest of the superchargers there were full.
Which we know the Model 3 ran into that issue.
Yeah.
What percent state of charge are we arriving with?
4%.
4%. Perfect. I have activated the charger from the comfort of the seat in my car. My car. In the i7, the car that I am sitting in. And I will now go back to sleep.
We are charging at 188 kilowatts, which is what we can expect at our state of charge. Should increase a little bit before it drops off, and we get our super tapered. So we are still at an okay charging speed, so there is no reason to leave yet. Okay, we just unplugged and we are ready to leave for this Electrify America station on the other side of Cleveland. 45 miles, 49 minutes from here.
There's an Autel charger. We are at our last stop for the day. Let's go. Jeeves is just fucking waking up. How's your nap back there?
That was the best nap I've had on this trip.
Yeah, it was, I think 5 hours long.
My nap was?
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours.
Really?
Yeah, it's 8:30.
I'm walking home.
Still ready for another 8-hour nap after that.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're all ready for sleep. I think everyone on this trip is ready for sleep. But we are... Oh, look at this man. His duties.
Time, baby.
We have 2 hours left, getting gas for the final time, and then we'll be rocking, and I will catch you guys at the finish line.
All right, so this is kind of an odd station. We got one 350, and yeah, that one's down over there. Number 1 is down, and we're gonna take the juice here. The plan is we'll most likely get 174 off of this like we did the last time, which is fine. And then what we're gonna do is charge up just enough to get to Albany. And now the Albany station's a station with 6 350s. It's at a Walmart, and that will be our last charging stop of the day. So this is coming to an end, guys. Really awesome.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Hey, so we just had a moment here. We just called Mr. Connor, found out that he was heading to the same station we were in Victor, which was down to 1 350 and 2 150s. And now everything there is taken. We're 10 minutes out. We had to make a last minute choice here. There's also a service plaza right off 90 up ahead with some Apple Green chargers that are 350. There's 3 of them. And unfortunately, we can't check and see if they're available, but they've got good reviews. They've got a 10 out of 10 on PlugShare.
Yep.
And right off the highway. This other, Victor's like a little ways off the highway. It's probably like, what, 5 minutes each way?
Victor's a little bit off the highway. And here's the thing, right? Dave just pulled in with the Lucid 2 minutes ago. He's plugging into a 150. They're going to hopefully flip over to a 350. Their plan is the same as our plan, or was our plan, which was Victor, Albany, EA, straight shot. So there's nothing we could do, barring Dave and that team making a mistake, which is highly unlikely, that has us passing the Lucid. Here's the Hail Mary. We know we're going to go to Victor. We're going to probably wait in line. Maybe we get lucky and we finish in the same spot that we were going to finish in now. We got range to make it there. We're going to go. We're going to try to leapfrog the Lucid, hopefully get a full 350 charge enough to get to Albany, which is now going to be even less. It's going to be inside 200. So we'll be able to have a better charge curve there.
Also, with Albany, I bit my tongue. I was going to tell Dave that getting to the Albany station at the mall there can be time consuming. The couple times I've gone there, it's taken me like 10, 15 minutes off the highway to get up there. There's now an Evolve New York station that's way easier to get to, that's just east of the city. So I think that's what we're going to do. And I really think that plus this really gives us a good shot.
Let's do a location update, shall we?
Yes,
Here in the 3, we are about 20 miles from our next charger. Oh, 50 miles, sorry. Which is our second to last charger. Not too shabby. So we're approaching Syracuse here, as you can see on this lovely map. Up in front of us, Tycon, of course, about an hour in front of us. But they are stopped and charged right now, charging. So we are gaining on them, but we're also going to stop and charge. So they're doing their last charge, whereas we have a bit more to do. Acura is, let's see, almost 3 hours ahead of us. So they will be arriving much earlier. And behind us is a bit of a closer race. The Lucid just pulled off. We are theorizing they found some 350 kilowatt New York Evolve things. Actually, looks like Dave may have walked into the food over here, but the car is probably right there at Evolve, New York. It says 350 kilowatts, but I think they're shared, so I'm guessing they're getting 175, which is a bummer. The Ioniq 6, therefore, is gaining on them. I don't know if they're also planning to stop. Not sure what their state of charge is. The Plaid is a bit behind them. And then further back, we have, so they're all near Rochester, and that is about 45 minutes behind us right now. The EQS is in Cheektowaga, Amherst area. So just south of Toronto? Yep. Near Niagara Falls, actually. Oh, nice. I didn't know we were that close. I would have stopped. Genesis is a bit behind that, approaching Dunkirk. Good movie. And how far back are they from us? Everything's kind of centered around us. We're the center of the universe here in the 3.
We are.
Still loading, but I don't know, a few hours back. 3 hours nears makes no difference. BMW way back near Cleveland. Even further, I'm guessing 4-ish hours as a rough guess. Yep, 4.5 almost. And then way back, entering Chicago, we have the old Model S. Nearly 10 hours behind us right now, which means from the Taycan, it's an 11-hour stretch across all these people. So pretty wild to see how far we've come, how far we have yet to go. How far we've come is definitely the biggest disparity. The entire state of Michigan currently fits between the old Tesla and the BMW, which is last and second to last place. Pretty wild to see where everyone's lined up, and I'm really curious to see the ending.
Model 3.
Another Model 3. Not a lot of Teslas out here, by the way. Anyways, curious to see how close it is between these three cars, because that's what I'm thinking is going to be the closest battle here. And the Ioniq 6 just passed the Lucid. They're cheering. They're on podium right now.
That's right, your eyes don't deceive you. It's a Porsche at a Denny's. We are in, what's the place called? I can't remember the name of the city.
Yep.
Like America.
Yeah, somewhere in America, in New York. This is the last stop, hopefully, before we get to Boston. We just plugged into the 350, waiting for the screen to come up. Having to pay for this session because couldn't activate it through the Porsche app, and the plug and charge doesn't seem to work. So we're just waiting for the charging to start, make sure we get good speed, and we'll figure out how deep we need to go. We need to make sure we have enough charge once we get to the end to get us to our hotel afterwards, so we need to not arrive too dead. So the hotel's like 13 miles from the finish line. Okay, well,
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we are charging. We got 300 kilowatts. The screen's just not updating. So we're charging. We just need to figure out now how deep we need to go. Okay.
Well, good morning. The sun has come up. I guess for me, at least, I'm waking up. You guys have been awake for a bit. Thank you so much for taking on the morning shift. And we are arriving to a Sheetz fueling station. And you guys have been sort of planning out the stops here, doing very quick, short bursts of charging, which is, that's my style. And especially with our DC counter, we do need to keep this car as low as possible. Come on.
I'm a right hammer.
Nice. And so we're back here. We're just trying to make some progress. But essentially we have to get to our finish line 620 miles. So we're just gonna hop.
Yep.
Charger to charger. We hope to be there by 9 p.m. That's our goal, 9 p.m.-ish. Because if we were in a gas car, we could get there by 5:50 p.m.
Yep.
And I think we need like 3 hours of charging with the D-rated performance to do 600 miles.
Yep.
I don't think we're gonna see, 200, we are seeing it, no way.
That's insane, that's too fast.
No, and then it just tapered. So that is the fastest we've seen the whole trip, right? We've never seen 200.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that.
No, I think we've seen 197, 198, even in the beginning.
Yep.
And this was the first time we hit 200. Whoa.
So we realized we're still 240, 250 miles away from the finish. So rather than have to go so deep and hope that we have enough to get there and all that, we're just going to make one more charging stop. So about 122 miles away from us now, so halfway to the finish, there's a charging stop that's close to the freeway that should work for us. So we're planning to do that.
All right, so just a quick update. We just left Victor with a state of charge up to 50%. I noticed that the Hyundai passed us, but that's only temporarily, guys. Don't get too excited, at least I think. Anyway, our goal today now is we've got one last charging session. We are targeting Albany. We could have gone to Schenectady or Latham. Albany, however, has 6 350s. And what we don't want to do is experience what just happened here at Victor, where it was kind of a weird install because there were 3 150s. 2 of them were the Chatamo combos, and there was only 1 350, and that was occupied by the EV6. So we really want to maximize the charging at the last stop. So we're going to be pulling into Albany with roughly, we'll see, probably around a 5% or less state of charge. We'll see. You know, we could potentially hit some traffic midday around the Albany area, and we may end up with a little bit higher state of charge. But the goal is one more charging stop. Careful. And then we're going to be rolling into Boston. And our goal is to come in right now, based on everything, in third. But what we don't know here are the variables as far as the charging state of charge for the Ioniq 6 and the Plaid as well, which are both of which I think are in front of us.
All right, our Audible is in motion. We pulled in at 5%. Great little efficiency strip. All right, quick little stall maneuver for a broken charge port. Nothing like being a new charging system. So we're at the Apple Green here in Clifton Springs.
Fun looking.
All right, we're ramping.
You can hear it warming up.
58, 66, 72, 80, 88, 90, 203. Let's go, baby. We're juicing.
Okay, I'm taking over and getting into the groove. William's running back. As soon as he's in the car, let's unplug. We're going to 76 miles to Erie. We're going to skip Fredonia because we heard that's bad, and then we're off to Buffalo. So we overcharged a bit, but we also needed a quick freshen up. Now that we're into the groove, we're not going to leave any more time on the table. So let's hope we get a green light here, getting out of here. I mean, this is the main problem with charger hopping, is we lose time.
Of course.
Getting on and off the highway, but this is going to be the last one. And then we have over 100 miles to do after this one. So, because we need to skip Fredonia because my dad said that one's not working out so well for anyone.
All right, so as we're driving past the Apple Green, this is where the Ioniq 6 is. There they are. All right. So, yeah, we just spoke to them, and their plan is charge there, charge one more time around the Albany area as well. Interesting, they went for the Apple Green. That could be the call there for them. That's interesting. It is definitely right off the highway. But what do the Apple Greens put out? Are they 200?
So that was Clifton Springs. They had 350 kilowatt units.
350?
So maybe that was
that might have been the choice. That might have been the right move, as opposed to getting off and going to the EA.
Yeah, so we would have been.
But having said that, I think we've got them. I'm pretty confident. The Plaid is about 5 miles in front of us, and I don't know what state of charge they're at right now.
We decided to get off here and go to the stopping. I almost lost the phone. Sending it to the supercharger, and it says it's only 2 available, so that's the 150. I hope we don't have to share.
Oh no.
Of course, at the V2 supercharger, like we mentioned, 146 kilowatts right now. So basically exactly what we're expecting, and we've got a very short stop before we head off to our next stop.
Once again, made it to 80%. I think our next stop's going to be about 120 miles away, something like that. Real easy. All right, after some figuring out, the next location is Picton. It is 134 miles away. We have 175 miles of predicted range, so that should be a good optimization. And it's an Electrify America right across from something called an Apple Green Electric, which looks a lot like an Electrify America, but isn't. And if we weren't in a competitive scenario, we would probably try to
Well, if Electrify America is all broken, we can still go.
That's true, yeah.
Or we could just go to it at the beginning of it.
I don't want to risk it because it has some flaky credit card readers on it, and you have to have the Apple Green app.
We just left the Apple Green charger off Clifton Plaza. Corbin realized, was checking EA, found out that 1, the Lucid was going, we knew the Lucid was going there. 2, the station filled up. We jumped on PlugShare, checked it out. He found a 350 Apple Green. After we found this, then we started looking, how do we kind of do that same idea in the Albany area? So he found a Pilot Flying J EVgo 350. Checked EVgo, looks good. Everything, check plug share, everything looks to be good. That's kind of right off the exit too. Our thinking is that the Lucid is going to go to the Walmart we were previously going to go to, which is a little clip off of the highway. So now with this, we can save probably 8 minutes, just not the back and forth.
I think
plus that was 8 minutes too. So we're talking about 16 minutes of time saving.
I think Lucid will easily lose 15 to 20 minutes going to that EA station, especially at the mall on a Saturday, or it's not just Sunday.
It's a Walmart, yeah, but still, yeah.
It's still up in the mall area.
Yeah, like Plaza, yeah.
Very congested.
So traffic and distance from the highway is what's going to give us the push to get ahead of Lucid, but what about Tesla?
That's the thing, and we talked to Dave too. Dave's got a blind spot with the Tesla. We're guessing they have to charge at least one more. It would be
Tesla's off the highway charging right now.
Whereabouts?
Like 13 minutes ahead of us. So we might get right entangled with them.
Well, we should check that out, because if they're charging here, they got to do a pretty deep charge. I mean, it's 205 miles to Albany. That's like 365 miles.
To Boston.
To Boston. They're gonna have to charge again.
Wow, this is really exciting. Great news waking up from a nap, so thank you guys. Yeah, great job, Corbin. I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Welcome to the casino, the Turning Stone, as it's called, and our second to last charging stop. Pulling in here with 4%, nice and low. Not too low to where it wouldn't precondition. We are preconditioned, which is great. But we should have superchargers right over here. 10 available stalls, which is a good feeling. Cybertruck.
About the Tesla.
Yeah, there's a Tesla showroom here, which is hilarious. Nice. Malibu.
Oh, nice. I see. Nice.
Maybe it's an EV conversion now. Woo. Let's go. Oh, these are magic docks. Drive while you charge. What? Oh, it's saying you could go test drive a Tesla while you charge your Tesla. We could go take a Cybertruck out.
Take a Cybertruck.
Take a Cybertruck to Boston. we did a quick swap.
It's got the new wheel covers on it. Oh, and
nice.
Standard wheels.
Oh yeah, we should go look at those. So this will be a quick charge here, ramping up 200 kilowatts, blowing past it. That's a good sign. This looks amazing. This truck is actually decently clean, not perfect, but Colton would be okay with it, I would say. And the wheel covers, yep, that's crazy. Looks way better than the new terrible looking like Temu situation. And this Quicksilver Performance 3, that's the spec, that's the color right there. And an old 75D. This is a pretty sweet parking lot. But yeah, here's the wheel covers side by side. Right there versus right there. Dang. 5% buffer. Let's go.
Look. Yep.
All right.
Do you know what a Dunkin' is?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we charged up to a 5% buffer. We unplugged and it immediately said 14% buffer. So really, still this route planning hasn't figured out what we're doing. And we're doing the unthinkable right now. Swinging through a place with no charging, a stop with no charging. I'd say stop lightly. We're doing a really quick bathroom break in Dunkin' because there was nowhere to go back there, and coffee sounds good.
Yeah, so the Model 3 is they're just out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, they're at the Dunkin' Donuts.
Are you kidding me?
They're at the Dunkin' Donuts.
What are they doing?
They're seriously at the Dunkin' Donuts.
That's not the racing spirit.
That's gonna make, if they get past while they got donuts in their hands, it's gonna be epic.
So here, if they wanted that, they could have taken this car.
And they left climate running too. Like, at least conserve energy if you're just going to stop the car. They're just burning. They got all the doors open. Climb it on.
We would never do that.
I'm going to start honking the horn on them.
Oh, that's great.
I'm honking. I get back in the car. What are they doing?
Okay, now, hold on. One quick second. This is some instant double standard judgment going on by Kyle and the i7 team, who are on the phone with the Ioniq 6. The Ioniq 6 in the last episode, 1 hour and 2 minutes in, went to a Starbucks without any charging.
So we're gonna go drive across this parking lot, hit a Starbucks.
So that's some double standard judgment, because yes, us in the Model 3 did go to a Dunkin' Donuts without charging, but it was literally split second. We ran in, grabbed coffee, ran back out. Kyle only happened to check the app right as we had opened our doors to get out. So yes, the climate was still on. We were just scrambling out of the car to get our coffee, and then we jumped back in the car to leave. So everyone's judging us for doing what some other teams did and what all the other teams wanted to do, and you'll find out shortly why it didn't even matter.
We're now flying along 90 East, a new one for us. Kidding. But yeah, we did a very quick splash and dash at that V2 supercharger. Again, not ideal that it was a V2. However, location was really solid right off the highway. And as we're starting to realize, over in this corner, it seems like a lot of the really high-powered chargers are not actually immediately off the highway. It's a little bit of a excursion to get off. So that's something that we'll be managing and figuring out. But right now, we're just doing a very quick drive. I think it was about 40 or so miles.
So, change of plan. We got enough to get there. My bathroom break took enough time where we onboarded a crap ton more juice.
Yep, because that's what happens with the Taycan. You're like, oh, I just need like 2 extra minutes to run to the bathroom. And
you gotta add like 30%.
Yeah, you got like 100 more miles.
So, to the finish line we go.
We're definitely competing with both Teslas right now, at least a little bit. So, yeah, walk me through what Kyle was talking about.
So, well, the Model 3 was just stopping for donuts at Dunkin'. But it looks like they're on the move again already.
Okay.
So they must have heard his horn honking.
Yeah, so Kyle was honking from the app. They had all the doors open, the climate on, and they were just at Dunkin', not even next to a supercharger. So don't know what's going on with that.
Well, it sounds like they're going to need to charge at least once more, just like Glad is currently 7 minutes ahead of us. They're taking some sort of detour on 690, maybe to a charger. Wait, did he say that they were at like 10%?
They were at 10%, so they got to find a charger quick.
So they're finding a supercharger. We're going to pass them unless they're doing a really super short charge. Lucid is currently 10 minutes ahead of us on the highway.
If they go to Walmart and we go to Flying J and both cars have a successful charge at those locations, we could just leapfrog in front of them.
Oh my gosh.
By maybe minutes. I mean, it's coming down to the wire, but anything's possible. They get blocked out, they get lost in the parking lot, all that. We're talking about minute, and it's crazy to think that after how many miles, 2,700, add on that, 2,800 miles across the country, the difference between third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place could quite literally come down to minutes.
Yeah.
Is just blowing my brain.
Or one wrong turn.
Or yeah.
Oh, one wrong turn.
Boston's a complicated city to drive in.
Well, guys, we've been on the phone with some of the competitors this morning. Everyone seems to be in good spirits. I'm a bit afraid to call the old Model S because I feel bad for them.
Yep.
I don't want to be like, yeah, we are all the way up ahead and they have so much more distance to go. But I hope they're in good spirits. I have no idea what's going on in that car, but they haven't called to complain yet, so things seem okay.
Okay, we're rolling into Rolling Prairie, Indiana. Been on I-90 the whole time. It's been a great drive, and actually we had a good drive through Chicago, not too bad. So rolling in at 3%. Boom.
Boom, 926, 3%.
Yeah.
129.
Let's go.
Nice.
We are about to pull off to charge at 9% arrival up ahead, and then we will basically have to do a little bit of a deeper charge because we're going to skip Fredonia, I guess is what it's called, and we're going to go off to the next. Battery preconditioning just shut off. It used to shut off at 9%. Now it shuts off at 10%.
Wow.
Yeah, so it switched.
That's
about,
strange.
8 hours ago, it started doing this behavior. Don't know why. Automatic, the BMW really wants to get over. So I guess I'll just let it do it. It's not like we're in a rush.
Not really.
Yeah, Waterford, Peachtree. Will it automatically take the exit for us? Yes.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, amazing.
Taking the exit. BMW.
Go, girl.
So quick status update. We had to shift over to another charger. It was throttled down to 140. We're not sure if it was a site limitation because this is a full charger. When we got here, there was only 2 charging spots left open. As we plugged in and watched it slowly ramp, 2 people left. We moved to a different set of chargers and it immediately ramped to 250. So we're gonna be here for a little bit. I think we're looking at somewhere around a 55 to a 60% charge. And we are gonna rip to the next charger after this. V3s from here on out.
Okay, I'm at
There we go.
the station.
Nice.
Chris has learned CCS. He won't even know how to plug in his Tesla at the end of this.
I'm going back home, plugging it in and go to Amen.
Oh, wow.
It's dead.
Oh, no.
What? Well, the screen's dead at least. But it's communicating with the car. And it is working.
Yeah, it says it's operational.
This doesn't say it, but the app says it.
If you see here.
You see
Just
right here it says available. It says
It's
initiated.
charging.
It is charging. Okay, great. Let's look at the speeds. This is why if you have an older F-150 Lightning or even current Mach-E, they don't tell you charging speeds. Or EX30.
Nice.
This is why it's important to know. So it's derated.
Okay, we'll change to number 3.
Yes, change to number 3. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. And let me tap the card.
Yep.
Okay, number 3. 1, 2, 3 says it's in use by us.
Yep. That's why I didn't want to go to.
That's why you need to get the card on here, so it thinks it's in use on the app.
Yep. 187.
So we're getting full power.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, getting a good session now. 192 kilowatts at the beautiful Walmart in Erie. You've now been to like every Walmart in America. How does it feel?
Beautiful.
We are going to charge up to about 55% state of charge because we're actually heading to the Apple Green charger. I think the same ones that the Ioniq 6 went to. We looked at all the ones around Albany and the EA and some other stuff. They're off the highway, but Apple Green's right on the highway. And originally I thought, well, maybe they're 350 amp limited, but they're 350 kilowatt chargers with the Huber Sooner liquid cooled cables. So I'm hoping it's a 500 amp charger. I think it is. At least a few of them are the high power ones.
Yes.
It was like 100 kilowatts at 50%, which is pretty, yeah, 100 at 50. It's not great.
And the final state. Welcome to Massachusetts.
Got 138 miles left.
And the colors are starting to pop. It's just a beautiful part of the country. We finally made it. It is 10:36. We made it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dove in the water over there to get his dog's ball.
Oh, yeah, that guy is straight up swimming.
That is disgusting.
Honestly, I'd rather go 3,000 miles again than hop in that river. That's...
I mean, it's probably pretty clean, honestly. We made it, though.
The Acura, even though they dillied around a little bit on the first day till I had to yell at them and tell them this is a race to see how much faster they are, not that they are faster. Any idiot can tell a gas car is faster. Even though they did all that, they are there. And they have arrived just now at the finish line. And we are, let's take a look at our stats. That's since factory, about since individual, 2,592 miles in. We are still over 500 miles away.
And didn't they just tease us at the beginning?
Yeah. And we are still in Pennsylvania. And they're all the way over there. So that's...
Maybe we're really taking a horse and buggy.
Yeah. Maybe a horse and buggy would be faster than an I-7.
All right, we finally made it. Can't wait for showers, bathrooms, and relaxation.
Yep.
I'll just jump in the water
We
like
could
that
jump
one,
in the water.
like that one guy did. We just don't have any towels. So
Back.
Cold ride home.
Yeah.
But
I think we picked the best car.
Yep.
Even though like an M5 CS would have been better.
There's a lot of better options.
Comfort-wise,
yeah,
there's better options, but for this specific task, I think if we hadn't been limited to 10 over, we would have been cooking through the country.
The other thing is we just drove 3,000 miles. I did not see another one of these.
Yeah, we got a couple good looks.
It looks good. It was comfortable for 3 of us. It has decent space. I think it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
The styling's very good.
It's not too loud. It still's understated, but it's quick. It moves through traffic really well. Just needs massaging seats and maybe a little bit more leg room.
Better ADAS would be amazing.
Yes, that
they
would be.
They don't have that at all.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's not comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still babysitting it.
Also,
still paying
we did
attention.
try that one time and just let go of the wheel for a while.
Oh yeah, you were asleep.
It just shuts off. It will just kill you.
Completely shut off, and it was going for the guardrail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very safe, which was honestly good for at least the night portions. It like forces you to pay attention.
Yeah,
it does.
Because like I've had it in a Model 3 to where you're using autopilot and you just slowly just start to fade away because it just beeps for a little bit. You adjust the speed or the volume, and it just goes away.
Yeah, you could just sleep.
Yeah, but I think that's really it from us. I think we really did a fantastic job. The Taycan's a lot closer than we thought they would be. I think they're 2 hours out from us right now.
Yeah.
But we're just going to crack it to the hotel and catch you guys when the other teams get here.
The boat just showed up with all of our fans, so we're pretty happy to see them.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Time in from out of spec. If you don't know, you do now.
We had a conversation about our one charger stop remaining, and we decided to stick with our original strategy of maximizing that charging curve like we've been talking about the entire time. So we started searching. We've got the one that we're going to hit in Albany, same one that we were, and exactly halfway between, there happens to be a fantastic 250 that is immediate on and off access to the highway. So we are going to continue with our strategy of short and fast charging stops.
It doesn't look super great for us to be able to beat the cars ahead of us. We also have a pretty good gap for behind us, so I think this is a really good option. I don't think we're going to have any bad thing come from this, so might as well give it a shot.
All right, we are 90% done until we get to Boston. How are you feeling, Seb, our driver?
Well, I mean, as much fun as this is, looking forward to the shower.
Yes.
Looking forward. No, so very, very easy, no stress, you know. So I think it's good.
Yeah. All right, how are you feeling?
I actually had a nap, and I feel pretty good.
This guy's been driving
I look pretty good.
really late through the night, both nights. So he's getting some well-deserved rest.
So we have the Acura has arrived. The Porsche is in Massachusetts. But then we have this block of the Model 3, the Lucid, the Ioniq 6, the Model S Plaid, and us. And we're all kind of bunched up. And it's been like this for a long time, since, Minnesota or something. And then the Genesis has fallen way behind, and then the BMW is way further behind, and then in Indiana is the Tesla.
There you go.
So I think what the problem is that this 2012 Tesla, this is how people imagine cross-country EV driving is. You have to stop every 100 miles for half an hour and charge up. Not, we're going to stop for 40 minutes and charge up, and then we can go for another almost 4+ hours.
Yeah.
Like, it is letting us do. I think overall the fact that after 2,800 miles that we've gone, that we're sort of all bunched up like this. I mean, I think they're like they're 1 hour, 2 minutes ahead of us in the Model 3. So for all 5 of those cars, the Model 3, the Lucid, the Ioniq 6, and the Plaid and us, 1 hour separates us after 38 hours of driving and another 5 of charging. So,
well, 40 hours.
40+ hours, whatever. So that's pretty good. They just posted a thing from the old Tesla They have 18 hours to go.
Really?
Whoa. They have 1,000 miles to go.
That is wicked. 18.
They're gonna have to stop 8 times.
Whoa. 18 hours.
Yeah, so that's what people imagine it is. To go from Chicago to Boston is about 12 hours of driving. And it's gonna take them 20 hours to do it. It's gonna take us 14, including full charging stops and everything. And, you know, I've got some quibbles about the charging stops, usually where the charging stations are. But if they were all like the Ohio one was, where it was like literally at the highway rest area, why wouldn't it be anywhere else? For Mercedes, that'll be solved when they're on the supercharger network. And really for everybody. But because this car only charges to 200 anyway, it'll be able to plug into a supercharger and go to max every time. So that'll make a huge difference.
All right, guys, so we are 2,868 miles into the trip, and our next charging stop is going to be Albany, New York. Now, it's
also going to be our last.
It's going to be our last charging stop. There's a Flying J on the other side of Albany that's got some pretty high power DCFC's 350 kilowatts, but the challenge is we just discovered those after we decided we were going to go to the EAs on the west side of Albany, and we're already going to be arriving at EA on the west side of Albany below 0% into the buffer, and that Flying J is a solid 20 miles past that location. So we have, after many permutations of discussions here, we've decided that we're going to stick with our plan. Our last charging stop will be at EA in Albany. Good news is it's 6 350s.
Yep.
And we've had some pretty good luck with those stations. So, so that's good. What are your?
It's also in Albany at about noon, and we're watching the app, and we're still just under an hour out, but we're seeing that the stations are filling up. So now we have actually a dotted line on the left. So I'll go ahead and initiate that lane change, and it's gone again. Wow.
Okay,
it's
let's keep trying.
It's really camera shy here. So
maybe it's not active.
Lane change initiated, finally. Okay, there we go. And it goes right away. I didn't do any steering input myself. And we can see actually, maybe as we pass this truck up on the right here, yeah, I'm seeing the dotted line on the right already. So we'll be passing him momentarily. So Dave, maybe you can fill some elevator music in just to...
Yeah, well, while you're waiting, I will tell you that right over here is an Apple Green, and there are some 350s. You'll see them right there on the right-hand side.
Right. That's those are
500 amp units.
They've
got the liquid-cooled cables, and we actually discussed, pulling in there. But the problem is we're at too high a state of charge right now, so we're sticking with our original plan. But go ahead.
Okay, so we have the dotted line on the right, and as soon as we pass this Subaru, I will go ahead. Actually, I'm going to initiate it now.
Yeah,
and
so
see
it'll
if
wait.
it picks up, so we can see the vehicle there passing. And
I'm not sure if it'll go.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Let's try this again. Nope. Now we're approaching Kia Soul going very slowly, so nope, it's finicky.
It's very
finicky.
Yeah.
We had totally forgotten to check the Magic Docks because we've been using EA, EVgo, and PlugShare doesn't really separate Magic Docks so easily from the other ones. Maybe they do, but we kind of missed it. Anyway, we were going to skip Fritonia or whatever the thing was around here because there were no working 350 kilowatt stations, but we can benefit from Tesla Magic Dock because we need current. We don't need high voltage like some of the other cars. And we should have just hopped here and did the Magic Dock. But anyway, we figured we overcharged at the previous one anyway. We're kind of all messed up a little bit, but we're going to make the best of it. We're making it up. We're going to stretch it to a Magic Dock, which means we're not going to risk the Apple Green not being 500 amps. We're going to go to the Batavia.
Oh, perfect placement.
Magic Dock. Tesla knows how to put chargers in the ground.
Yep.
And then we'll be able to get there at, mid-single digit %. So that's the move, is stretching it to Batavia.
Look at this. Vin Fast. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 5 of them. Six being fast with one on the front. Holy cow, they're gonna sell 6.
4.8 miles to our final charging stop. And we are going to add 5% to the number they recommend, which is 76. Or we'll see what it is when we get there, but we'll do that plus 5, and that should be enough to get us to the end. There's very little wind. We just checked that. And it is a net drop in elevation, though we do climb a little bit in the Berkshires. It is nothing compared to what we dealt with before. So considering we're at about 329 watt hours per mile, I think we should be in good shape because we got to go 250.
Nice. Almost the last charger, maybe?
Hope so.
One more, maybe?
One more, maybe.
We'll see.
Let's see what we're pulling.
Plotting mode. Okay, we've decided we're going to jump to the next charger, do that really intense charger hop, take advantage of the charging curve. We're still at almost 150 kilowatts. If we stay here to get to the final destination, we'd be dipping into 60%, which means like maybe below 100 kilowatts, which is just not great charging. The next charger is right off the, where is it? Highway. Literally off on situation, just like the Autobahn style ones we saw earlier in Ohio. So very, very little time added to get a V3 charging speed, much closer to our destination. 2% buffer. I'm feeling like, I agree, Andreas, 40% we ditch this place.
Take a quick peek at the map, the other cars.
Oh yeah, so the other cars are still behind us. The Ioniq 6 is probably, at this point, 20 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Lucid is catching up, but we know they have a charge yet left to do.
Yeah.
So
it's been nice to get out in front of them.
If we could get out in front of all of them, that'd be amazing. 43%.
I mean, we can get 150 miles with 50%, so we can easily get 130.
This times 3 equals 132. Yeah. That's plenty. So
I think we should go.
I think we go.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. So we checked earlier, the Ioniq was at they were charging in Syracuse, which is 331 miles from UC Constitution in Boston, and they would have to have almost fully charged the car, which would be silly. So I don't think you guys were bluffing, but maybe you did. Let's see. And here's a quick peek at the current map. Ilstead is coming closer, but still a couple miles to go, I think. And now the summer track, please don't turn right, but I guess it will. Alrighty, epic.
I made a bit of a mistake. I didn't look closely at the map. This EA is kind of off the toll road on a side road. And there is an Applegate on the other side of the interstate, but I didn't look close enough at the map. And it's only accessible from the opposite side of the interstate on the service plaza, so we'd have to do a double back to actually get to it. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point. Right. He's so far behind and there's no one even close to us, but it's upsetting that it shows 1 to 4 available. No 350 kilowatts are available. Only at 150, which doesn't really matter for us. That's only like 10 kilowatts down from our peak. This one doesn't work. Number 3 is shows as in use.
Yeah, you're right. It's pretty good. Alright, this is fine.
I'm way too frantic about this. Yeah, that's the full speed we could expect at this percentage anyway.
169, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we just stay here. Whatever. We'll get maybe 5 more kilowatts if we move over there.
Right, and maybe take 30 seconds shorter.
Yeah. Okay, so the mix-up was that this EA is not on the toll road. It's on a side road right next to the interstate, which I didn't notice when I was looking at on the map. And right across the interstate, which I thought was a lot closer, is an Apple Green charger, which looks like an EA station and uses the same hardware. And it was a good backup, but it's so hard to get over there, and it was on the opposite side service plaza on the interstate that would be really hard to access. It looks like there is a bridge access over there, but it looked like a pain in the butt. So we're here now, and it works.
Lucid is at 1% state of charge right now. The Model 3 is charging, and the Ioniq 6, are they done? Or do they have to charge? I don't know.
Wow.
But it's those 3 have been swapping places. And then I think the Plaid is done, or close to it. So that's a real hot race for second place right now. Second place of EVs.
Yeah.
Of course. Taycan, as William was saying, class leader.
So the people are in.
So, another quick update. We just merged back on I-90. And we did indeed manage to jump on ahead of the Lucid. And also the Ioniq is still back there. Ioniq is currently 16 minutes behind us. Let's confirm if this is accurate. Yeah, 60 minutes. And the Lucid is 6 minutes. So, yeah, we'll be stopping one more time. And we'll update you once we come up with the finalized plan.
We're still, oh, it's dropping. Let's go. Hit stop.
Ready?
Yep. We found a food court. It's not great to have chargers like this at an outlet mall, but we did find a food court and bathrooms. And we got some food. Now let's go. Next stop is 180 miles away. Which we should be able to do no problem because the speed limits are lower out here. We've been averaging 3 miles per kilowatt hour. Oh, take a fucking picture of the thing. And he's got a hot dog. Yeah. He got a hot dog and whatever this goopy
Mango
stuff
smoothie.
is. What'd you get?
Samosas.
Samosas. I got a chicken burger because I made a mistake. Yes, a guy came by and he was we're all very weary at this point, and he came by and asked us all the normal questions. How far can you go? How long does it take to charge? And then we told him all of that, and clearly he didn't want to be impressed. So he followed that up with, well, I drive 10 hours at a time. I'm like a camel. It's like, okay, just go away. And he also said, and this is my favorite, I think I could get a hybrid, but I'm not sure about these full electric EV things.
All right, so this is strange, and we are at the battery critically low. This is interesting. Not something that we would have expected based on the data. We made the right decision here, guys, so don't feel bad about that based on all the history and knowledge we have.
Hazards are on.
Okay. Just stay in it.
Foot is fully to the floor.
Foot's to the floor. We're doing 56 miles an hour. We're 7.5 miles away from the charging station.
All right, well, listen, life is all about risks. The car warned us. The car said, charge, you're at 0%. And when we hit 0%, the car started losing power. So the car is not lying. However, we have had data points that suggest otherwise. So, look, you know, showcasing this car's capability, we've done that on this trip. Now what we need to do is just figure out the logistics to get it to the next DC fast charger, continue on the trip, and you know, get it to where we need to go. We are now charging on the 110. So look, we will get out of here. We will get a charge. It'll take some time, and it's unfortunate, but we made a decision that I think all of us own, and had we been presented with the decision again, we would have done the same thing. And you know, there's always a sure thing to charge. There's a lot of lessons to learn here, but you know, here we at Out of Spec, our goal is to push the envelope and figure things out. Well, Kyle pushed the envelope on a 70-mile-an-hour test, and even though we were doing 10 over, which is 75, you know, instead of having 30 miles of buffer, maybe it would be 20 miles of buffer.
We just got really excited because the Lucid said they plugged it in charging, but it says 6 days, 21 hours, and 50 minutes to full. So they just found a wall outlet somewhere.
Yep.
Better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
Always be charging, but try to be charging more than 1 kilowatt. See, if this was Europe and we had 3-phase, we could do 3 kilowatts on a
Yeah,
Chico.
exactly.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we're limited.
All right, so we found a nice young lady who's going to open up the gate, so we're going to go out the back door, and only about 2.5 miles from here is an EV Go, which is great. Alex is negotiating the unlock of the... So there's a gate over here where the employees come to work here at the Burger King. Of all places, Burger King, right? Who knew? I definitely should go get a crown, but... So we're going to have the gate unlocked, and then we're going to be able to slip out the back door. Wasn't that a song? And
and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get over to the EVgo.
So we picked an EVgo station. Decided to end it on a little bit of a gamble. Guys, this race is so close. We have a chance at getting second, I guess, because the Model 3 was 16 minutes ahead of us. They were pulling into charge. Now we're charging, and anything can still happen for second place, but Lucid is out. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's just what we wanted.
Lots of locks here.
Yep.
Who thought that this gate would come between us and the ability to charge our car on an EVgo, right? What's your name, ma'am?
Abby.
Abby is number one. We love Abby. And we really appreciate it. There we go. Alex, you should have listened to me, pal. I told you we should have charged deeper into the pack. Yeah, it's all your fault.
I really remember you saying that now. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not the type of person that, says just wait a little longer.
Oh, no. You know what?
Put 1% on it.
Listen, you know what? Risk takers own the world. Maybe just not today.
Yeah,
that's all we got going.
We might still beat the Beamer, so.
Oh yeah.
We're beat the Old Testament.
And we are going to beat that. Listen, 2.5 miles through this secret gate, right? We've got an EVgo. It's a 50 kilowatt. We're going to plug in. We're going to charge. And if that sucker's down, I'm going to be pissed. But hopefully it's up. I think PlugShare said it was. What a spectacularly awesome car. Look at this thing. Here we go. Oh, yeah. This is just, what else do you want to do on a Sunday?
Exactly.
Come on, this is just too much fun.
This is way too much excitement.
Absolutely. All right, so we're underway.
Yep.
And it's good we're not on the I-90. We're on the employee entrance road. Speed limit 25, and Alex is doing 12, 13. I feel like this is watching a charging session ramp up.
The turtle did go away, so.
All right.
Yeah, we're
going to be fine, guys. Don't you worry. Turtle friend just reappeared. You know that t-shirt that out of spec says, "Don't trust the buffer"? I think I'm going to buy one of those.
Don't trust the BMS.
Oh, don't trust the BMS.
They need a don't trust the buffer. No.
We need a new shirt, don't trust the buffer. All right, foot is on the floor, and we are doing 28 miles an hour with a slight uphill, losing speed 27, 26. Hazards are on. We have people behind us. Oh boy. I think it's gonna make it over the little crest, but maybe.
I'm gonna pull into the street here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't think we have as much buffer.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Okay.
I'm gonna flip it around so that a tow truck can more easily access us.
Either that, or we could ask someone for 110 juice and stay here for an hour.
Yeah.
Or two, while the tow truck is full beans.
Yep.
All right. So the car's dead. The car is dead. There is no buffer in this car. All right. Let's exit here and charge up the I-7. We are at 7% state of charge. We wish we could stretch it a little bit farther even, but there was nothing after this that we could make it to. So 7% is totally fine. Also with Magic Dock, cable heating is something we need to worry about.
Yeah.
But I guess we can't pull full power for long because we have our DC current limit.
Correct.
So many different variables. Man, EVs are great, guys.
All right, here we are somewhere. Looks like Angola, Indiana, for stop number 24 to charge. Stop number 24, rolling in at like 10%, which is too high, but hey, that's for the next one, I guess. And yeah, we had to go quite a ways off of the 90 to find this one. What the crap? Oh, here it is.
Oh, look at that, a titanium Model X.
Look at that OG Model X.
That's the rare one right there.
Wow, with 22s? Or are those 21s?
No, those are 22s.
22s, yeah.
Peak is 104, looks like.
Dang, that's all. Oh, I guess we're at 10%. So
Yeah.
That's
All right.
We are going to give it every possible chance on these last couple of charging stops. Let's go. Yep, right there.
Okay.
They're V4s.
Ooh, fancy schmancy.
Our first V4s of the trip. Yes, we beat the Model Y that's pulling a camper. Trailer, cargo trailer. Go to last one. That gives the trailer guy a little more room.
Okay, so we are going to take 2 stalls, unfortunately.
Will it reach?
Oh, we don't even know that.
No, it's pretty far.
It better reach. I'm gonna go all the way down here on the end.
Maybe?
1A, start charging.
Oh,
reach.
Perfect.
Come on, get in there. There we go.
Nice. Okay, so it's similar to...
Yeah, because this, I know for sure Magic Docks always give you full power.
Yep.
So that's, is what it is. Great.
Doing good?
Great, perfect.
All right, rock and roll. Let's go. Come on, Ioniq 5. I don't know why you stopped like that.
Literally no one is there. Okay.
Come on, dude. Go.
Checking in from a V4 site at the Albany Superchargers. This is unbelievable, but it's also our very first V4 of this entire trip in 3,100 miles. And it is full. It's pretty cool as we just saw this Model Y right here. Unhook this trailer right here. Back in and get a charge. Something I know a lot about. It's been fun, but I do love seeing these V4s. This might be the nail in the coffin for our chances at moving up in the race. We are at a V4 charger and we are throttled hard. 18% and only pulling 138 kilowatts. This site must be limited. It is full. Everybody's plugged in and we are getting very low rate of charge.
So, location updates. We are here in second place.
Beautiful second place.
Beautiful second place. This is beautiful. The beginning of the drive was gorgeous in Washington. Looked completely different than this. The end of the drive is also gorgeous, approaching Boston. I love it. I mean, look at over there. That's just stunning. If I wasn't racing, I'd stop and fly the drone. Probably will on the next stop. We have one more quick stop needed to get to our final destination. The layout beyond that, I guess we have the Ioniq 6 a little bit further back. The Plaid right behind them. The Lucid, of course, has fallen off. They died, which is really quite a bummer. I mean, that's shameless plug to our new t-shirt. Never trust the BMS. Yep. Back here is a Genesis, which I keep forgetting exists, but it's here in Syracuse. Honestly, good on them. I think they're probably having a good time. BMW having a great time because it's an amazing car. Just, you're not itching to get anywhere fast. The old Model S is halfway across the bottom edge of Michigan.
The real champions here.
The real champions here.
Sorry.
So,
didn't expect it.
Yeah, we got uneven lanes here. Oh, I keep accidentally hitting the wrong turn signal. People are really confused behind me.
Buttons.
But, yeah, the wrong buttons. More than 10 hours. It doesn't even tell us exactly. It just says more than 10 hours away to the old Tesla. That is totally wild. I guess we get directions using Apple Maps here. So, they are, exactly 10 hours behind us.
Nice.
That's pretty wild. So, and the Porsche, by the way, which we didn't even look at, is about an hour ahead of us, I think. Hour and a half, actually. So, yeah. Porsche is getting really, really close. In fact, they are almost there. They're maybe exiting. Oh, yeah, they just exited 90. So, congrats to Porsche. You guys made it to the end of the road.
Congrats.
Arriving actually earlier than I expected. So they're going to get there about 2 hours before us, which is pretty wild. So really impressive. That car is just in its own league. I don't even know why we're racing it.
It's only Sunday.
Yep.
I feel good. I feel like we could do this again.
Check this out. Oh my God.
We won,
3,108 miles.
Oh,
you ripped the bumper off.
That's not my fault.
And just keep going down that way. We don't want any technicalities here.
Yeah.
All right, 12:48, the official time.
Woo!
Let's go. Good job. Great job.
Our charging performance has taken a dip, 90 kilowatts at 51%, but it's time to go.
Yep.
120 miles. Let's boogie.
Yep, move it.
All right, time to boogie. Off we go to
Verona.
Verona.
One of the first Magic Dock sites in the US, apparently.
Really?
That's true.
Yep.
Wow. It was part of the opening 12, I think they did.
Yeah.
According to the map here, we are officially passing the Lucid Air and we have no more charging stops. We are headed straight to Boston, which means we are going to beat the Lucid. Yeah, you heard that right. The EQS is going to beat the Lucid. Yeah.
Hell yeah. No
Let's
surprise.
go.
No surprise though.
No, we're not surprised. We knew this from the beginning.
Hyundai's calling now. Let's see what Lacey's got to say. Hello.
Hey Kyle, just wanted to see if you could provide us with some updates on the Model 3.
Oh, spicy. Okay. Yes. What would you like to know?
Did they already charge?
Did they charge? William, if you go in here and go to Model 3 test, we can take a look.
They are at 14% state of charge.
And where are they heading to?
Supercharger, Charlton.
With how much percent will they arrive?
3% state of charge.
Okay, so they have not charged yet.
We're on our last stretch. We're charged up. We're making a beeline to Boston right now.
So you just need to be on the road and pull out. They need to pull out after you go by.
Yep.
And you're going to have to knife through traffic to get to finish before them.
So, quick update. We noticed that the supercharger we're gonna go to is actually, there's a wait time, less than 5 minutes, but we don't want to risk anything. So we decided to jump out here, go to Palmer, Massachusetts supercharger. There is 0 cars, I think.
Glad we noticed, because the Tesla didn't really tell us.
It should,
but yeah, it turned out the one right off the highway, which was empty, is now suddenly full.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Which makes me wonder if it really is. Like, I'm gonna be so mad if we drive by it and see no one there.
And there's a Dunkin', I just noticed on the right.
What if this was the trick the Ioniq was playing? They could somehow trick the station into being full. That'd be crazy.
Hack the supercharger network.
Either way, this is right off the highway. This is also a V3. This is also empty. Because if the other one is full, we also run the risk of the load sharing speed limited, which the Plaid is actually currently dealing with. So we have one light to get to this charger, but once we get back on the highway, we have no light, which is nice. So come on.
Yeah.
We are preconditioning. We need good speeds. We only need, it says 5 minutes. We might do a hair over that just because we want to make sure we have the capacity to get to the ending point, but we also have to be able to get to a charger after that or the hotel.
Right.
And nothing's immediately close to that, so we need a little bit of a buffer, but we are almost here, ready for action.
Ready for action. And one more info about the Ioniq. It's 33 minutes behind us, so we have some buffer, but we don't want to fool around either.
Yeah,
so plug it in and in. All good.
I have been trying to pass this RV for 5 minutes. I am in a 1,000 horsepower car, and I am not allowed to go more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. And this is frustrating because we're trying to win a race.
I think Kyle might be a little bit jealous that you're here 10 hours before him, but
yeah, the time gap back to some of the cars is pretty crazy.
Model 3 I'm also very impressed by.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're probably what, an hour and a half behind us, something like that.
Yeah, probably.
So that's the bargain.
Yeah.
That's the road tripping bargain
for 40,000 compared to what, 110.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, this looks cooler besides these wheels. And it's more of a symbol of a car than the Model 3 is. But I was surprised that you guys were ping-ponging for a little bit at the beginning.
Sure.
We were dilly-dallying at the beginning, so we were worried at first that we weren't gonna beat you or it'd be a lot closer, like 30 minutes, but it ended up being 2 hours.
So I like, there's times I wish I had more time to like relax, but this car's amazing. Like, it charges so fast and it's so simple. Like, just driving is really intuitive.
Okay,
It's your birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Thank you. This is a great present. We only took one stop that was not a charging stop, and it was just a brief stopover at a gas station to get the windshield bug-free.
Yeah.
Other than that, we only stopped to charge the entire drive. And I think we only overcharged maybe like twice, where we were waiting for somebody to get back in time.
Yep. Yeah, they're... But I mean, you know, overcharging is like, you know,
So we put too much energy in, but it didn't take that much more time. You know, it's like you got back to the car like 1 minute, 2 minutes late. You know.
Yeah. So we did screw up in going into Indiana and have to go under for a little bit because we couldn't get to the station that we had planned to, and we were like, oh no, what do we do? I looked and I didn't see another option, but Drew looked again and found the Flying J in Edon, Ohio.
Yep.
And that was a godsend.
I mean, we would have otherwise just needed to start to crawl.
Yeah,
you know?
we might have given up position to the Model 3. We might have been able to get it back in time.
I think you would have gotten it back, but
yeah.
Yeah, but it would have been bad. It would have been like 25 mile per hour on the side of the highway with the hazards on situation, potentially.
And I was already not in a great mood because I just drove to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And so people
that's
are
the
crazy.
best part when you go through traffic.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago's rough.
I'm at home.
Chirac, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the low point of the whole trip, where we were like, oh no. We ended up averaging a little bit better than 3 miles per kilowatt hour for the whole trip. I don't know if we said that. The gripes that we have are mostly the infotainment system. It's slow, it's laggy, and a car of this price that's otherwise engineered so well, that really needs to be better. Tesla's the benchmark, obviously, and that's where everyone should be striving to be, especially if they cost more than a Model 3, which is almost everybody anyway. So that's one. The other thing is, even if it were snappier, the navigation's a little hard to use. It's a little hard to type on the screen and find what you want all the time. It doesn't always find it, and you have to like type in the address of what you're trying to find. You know, searching for Electrify America and the town where the EA station we were going to didn't always find it. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't, and sometimes we had to just put the address in.
Yeah.
And that would work. So those are some gripes. On the plug share note, we gave EA kudos, well-deserved kudos for being really reliable over all this. But we have to give us a small criticism to EA here, where we still have to rely on plug share to know the state of EA chargers.
Sure.
You know, the EA app and the Porsche app both showed at least one of the 350s in Madison, was working, but when we got there, neither of them was working. And PlugShare, there was a recent review which showed us a positive review saying that neither of the 350s was working and only the 150s were.
How is that positive?
Because they were able to charge on the 150. This is also a gripe with PlugShare, that should not be a positive review. That should have been marked as a negative review, so it draws someone's eye to it that there's a problem that you need to be aware of.
It's two parts. It's yes, you were able to charge, but
there is a problem.
You've got issues.
So that's one gripe. EA really needs to show accurate state, and this one was especially confounding because the chargers themselves showed unavailable on both of them for both ports.
Right.
So in theory, EA should know that and show that accurately. But overall, fantastic trip. Loved it. Thank you, Sarah and Drew, for making it awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, here we are at a supercharging oasis in Indiana, and check this out. You can back in either way. They're working from both sides, I guess. And that looks like Kyle's Model S.
Looks just like it.
Yeah, but
all right, I'm plugging.
10%,
17 kilowatt hours. Really quick charge. I mean, that was almost like seconds and gone. That Model 3 is like, why is this person leaving? Was it broken?
All right, we have just cracked our last 100 miles.
Woohoo!
And in about 3.3 miles, we will crack the 3,000 mile mark. Whew! What do you think?
It's been a long journey, but the end is in sight.
Yes, it is. So we're trying to locate. The Tesla's not responding on this, so we can't get a live update. We do know from Kyle that they're going to arrive at the Charlton supercharger, which is right off the Mass Pike, just past the 84 interchange, at 3%. They're not going to need to charge very much to be able to get to Boston from there. So that'll be probably a pretty quick thing. Here's the intangible. We were talking about this. That's a super busy plaza. It's a Sunday midday. The leaves are starting to pop. We could have fortune on our side. It could be busy. It could be hard to navigate. It could take them a few extra minutes to get out, and we're hot on their tail. This is quite literally a race of 3,100 miles is coming down to minutes, with the two least expensive vehicles in this entire lineup fighting for second place. The Taycan smoked everybody.
Yeah,
Not even close.
We're
Yeah.
ETA 308. The Taycan got in at 12:48. And we're fighting for minutes at 3 o'clock. This went from being anticlimactic for thousands of miles.
Hey, we had a fun little competition with the EQS.
Yeah, that what it was, until they kind of became irrelevant in the
Just
competition.
swept under the rug.
Sorry, guys. But we were at our last charging stop for 12 minutes. The three of us were sitting here silent, just staring at the thing. It felt like the longest 12 minutes of our life, like watching paint dry. But we're threading the needle.
Exciting update. The race is hotting up. The Lucid, because Dave Connors secretly works for Big Oil, has died here somewhere around Schenectady, Rotterdam, basically in the Netherlands. And they're 58 miles away from us. Now, we just talked to Kyle, and the tow truck is 90 minutes away from them. And we're an hour away from our charger that is past them. We're going to beat the Lucid. We can't forget, we have Good Luck Charging Pumpkin. This is why Team Lucid didn't win.
Yeah.
What's on the side of my pumpkin?
Gordon came through for us.
Well, we went over a series of bumps, and all of a sudden I lost automatic emergency braking. Autopilot cameras are now unavailable. We have no cruise control. It would seem that we have lost all of our ADAS functions. And once again, we have lost our repeater camera. And I feel like this is a little bit of karma for me talking so nicely about how well the Tesla has been doing this.
All right, guys, this is a tough update after 3,035 miles. What do we got to say?
Found out the Tesla Model 3 is actually ahead of us by a decent amount, especially now that we're in bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Yeah, like 10 miles ahead of us.
Yep, we checked in with Kyle. He looked at it. At the time, they had just gotten done charging. They were back on the road. 10 miles over the course of 3,000 miles separated second place and third place. And then to top it off, the gap's probably going to get a little bigger. We hit some traffic at the 84 merge on the Mass Pike. They were already clear of it. So this is holding us up, but not them up. So, not sure what the final result we're going to be, but you know what? We were underdogs.
Yep.
Pretty pumped with
third place.
With how we finished. Looks like a pretty certain third place. So just a formality now.
All right, so we're making progress here. We called Lucid, and they were trying to locate a towing service, but an hour went by, they couldn't find it. Shane got on the phone and found someone on the first call, and we contracted with this person to come. I called Lucid back. I said, hey, listen, is that okay if we hire our own guy? And they okayed it, which was great. And then all of a sudden, while I'm on the phone with that person from Lucid, someone else from Lucid called and said, we can have someone come and see you in 60 minutes. Now, in the meantime, this awesome woman who lives at this house over here, Barbara, she comes out and says, hey, are you guys okay? And we said, well, yeah, we're fine, no big deal, but we need some energy. She goes, oh, I have a motorhome, and I've got a 30 amp or a 50 amp plug on the front of her house. So we went over and we tried to plug into that, and we thought maybe we would have level 2 charge. But unfortunately, we didn't have the right adapter for that, nor did she. So in the meantime, this gentleman just came up with the tow truck, and he's got skids for the rear. And we're gonna go. We only have to go down the road 2 miles and plug into the EV Go. And in the meantime, there isn't enough room for all three of us to fit in the tow truck. And Barbara, this is like, she's like, oh, I'll take you. So she's gonna drive her. She said, don't call an Uber, I'll take you down. What a nice woman. It's so good when you meet nice people, isn't it? That's the way it should be.
We are about to pass the Lucid. I'll point my beam of direction at them. We just passed the Lucid. Yeah, screw you guys. I mean, good luck.
All right, talk to me. So what do you think is going to happen here, my friend?
All right, so I've got the Lucid owner's manual, pull it up, and it goes through vehicle towing and recovery methods that Lucid approves. So we're going to make sure we do this by the book.
Right.
So I'm imagining we're going to be using this high-speed dolly. It's just 2 miles down the road.
Right.
Or they've got
floating recovery dolly as an option as well. And so obviously preferably a flatbed, but it should work in this case. Just
Understood.
As long as we're not leaving the rear wheels on the ground.
Gotcha.
In motion.
Okay. And to be clear, I mean, Lucid did call back and said they had sourced a provider, but it was going to take another hour, and these folks this guy was already on his way, so we canceled that, and we're going to use this. So we're going to be back in this race in no time, I hope.
All right, we're approaching the Electrify America, and I just pulled up the app, and it's alternating back and forth between telling me, oops, something went wrong, check your internet connection, which I did check and it's fine, and telling me that the station is full, so I don't know what we're going to see when we get here. We're now in a race with the Lucid. No!
A bunch of cars.
No! There's a line! Okay, we got to look at all options. I'm putting the camera down.
Guys, got to meet our new friend Barbara. Barbara, thank you so much. Now, what did you see? You looked out your window, and what did you see?
I saw a car, and I figured he had car trouble.
Yep.
But I knew it was electric when I saw the guy's feet sticking out of the front.
You knew he wasn't sitting on the engine, right? That's so funny. Well, thank you so much for offering to help us take us down the road. So, this guy seems like he knows what he's doing. We'll get the car on the truck, and then we'll take a little ride. Okay. Maybe someday we'll get you an electric car. Maybe. All right, good. That's progress. Such an interesting way to tow the car and not do it with the flatbed, but gets all four wheels in the air, which is great.
All right, things are looking up. The ID4 is done. This Mercedes is done. Please unplug. Start a new session. Reconnect. Unplug.
Charging started.
Yes!
Yes. Charging started. Thank you, Genesis.
We have
170 miles remaining.
170? We're going to have to do an 80%.
All right. We're at 15. 15 to 80. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Alex is going to ride with the tow truck driver, and Shane and I, we're going to ride with Barbara. Right over here, a future EV owner. Here we go. Barbara, for the win. We love you. Amazing.
Chilling at what percent? What are we at?
We're chilling at 4% in very slow traffic.
So we just got the windows open.
Turn the AC off, turn the fan off, conserving energy. You would never want to open windows while you're driving, of course, at speed because of the aerodynamic drag. But at this speed, I figure the AC probably takes more power than us pulling very little window here or very little drag at 10 to 15 miles an hour.
I'm not going to complain about fresh air.
And these beautiful trees and cliffs. I mean, this is spectacular.
This has literally been a dream of mine, so I'm so happy to be seeing fall colors in the Northeast.
And there's also another difference just pointing out between EVs and combustion. They're all sitting here burning gas. If we're not moving, we're not burning electricity. So I don't have any worries about us making it to the supercharger, which is not far away. We only got 2 more miles to go.
Well, it looks like the Tesla app was wrong. There's no one here.
Yeah. We'll go as fast as we can. Record this too, right?
Yep, I'm recording. And we're just opening up service mode so we can reset all the...
now we're beginning to ramp.
And if you can see...
Reset DAS. Run. Okay, it is right turn signal and brake for 8 seconds.
Yeah. And hit 250 kilowatts, so 251.
And it's back. And we are back.
Great. 42 to 50 degrees Celsius, 51. So
yep,
it's toasty, but not crazy.
Yep.
Still doing 250 kilowatts.
Probably helped that we were sitting basically still for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because this has been so accurate.
I would say 3%.
3? 2 or 3?
That'd be my vote.
We're cranking at 250. It's not much of a difference here. We are not going to catch the Ioniq.
No, it's not about catching anybody. It's about how to get back to the hotel too.
Yeah, we need to have at least 10 miles, but
I'm
that's
not so worried about that. No.
Okay.
Especially with the Lucid being out. With the Lucid being out, that was the backup plan of powering these vehicles.
Right.
At the parking lot if they got low.
Right.
So
we're gonna unplug while we're pulling 250 kilowatts probably. Sweet.
Yeah. Well, Barbara, thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. See, it would be stupid to take Uber.
Oh.
You're that close.
We've
Not
got-
even 2 miles, I don't think.
Next time I run out of electricity in Albany, I'm calling you. All right?
Okay.
All right, well, here we are in Hannaford's, and we've got the EV Go. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the car right over here. This nice gentleman, he's traveling through, he's finishing up, he's charging his EV9, first EV owner. Congrats to you, by the way. And he's from Maine, up by Sebago Lake, and so he's gonna be finishing up, and when he does, we're gonna then push the car from over here to over there, and then we're gonna fire it up, and we're gonna get on our way, and somehow we're gonna be in front of the i7. At least that's our goal. At a minimum, definitely in front of the 2013 Model S, right? If we can't do that, we can't do anything.
Andreas's favorite thing is overpasses. Cannot comprehend. The European mind cannot comprehend. We are so close. 10 minutes, 9 minutes.
Look at all the freaking Cybertrucks. They have a bunch of them on the Aero wheels and tires, which look pretty bleh. Cue the commenter saying all Cybertrucks look bleh. I think those look cool. We'll go to the one on the end so we don't block anyone.
Oh my God, that's so much easier than the CCS.
And right now our biggest competition is the Lucid. So we're gonna try and beat them, but I think they're already on the tow truck, so almost no chance.
Last stop, get ready to go. It's been a long couple days, but
very long.
Almost over.
So this should be the last charging session. And then we'll be pulling in Boston probably 5 p.m. tonight, something like that, Eastern. It's been a good trip. Unfortunately, we weren't able to stop at any Autel chargers along the trip because they were too far off of the main highway. So we definitely passed a few, but
also we went through places like Montana and Wyoming.
we did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then yeah, some of them were at dealerships and they were 120 units, and so we chose for some of the higher speed units. So hopefully next road trip there will be some of the Autel 240s or the Autel high powers. We'll be able to use those.
Give us that high power, man.
Oh yeah. Yep. We need some high powers along I-90 for sure.
Yeah.
But it's been an awesome trip.
I think we're all ready for a shower and a long sleep session. Yeah.
Shower some real food, not just beef jerky and munchies, and good night's sleep.
Yeah, still got 180 miles to go though. Yep, it's not over, not over.
Victory-ish. We stood no chance against a Taycan, but we are almost to the finish line here in the Model 3. Dang.
Second.
Third with gas car that we're not counting. How do you feel?
We did it. Exhausted. But happy.
Ready for bed?
Ready for bed, ready for a shower.
Dang.
Yeah. Thanks, Tesla, for building this incredible
Yeah. Good job, Tesla. I did not expect this. Not to doubt you, but like, seriously, this is the cheap car here.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be, I guess it kind of was the underdog, and it just absolutely outperformed my expectations and beat the Ioniq. We arrived at officially 257, I guess. Our efficiency, 211 watt hours per mile. That's almost, well, that's the last stretch, sorry. 263 watt hours per mile. That's almost 4 miles per kilowatt hour. 3,113 miles. We used 818 kilowatt hours. Okay, Model 3 is checking out. We're done. We're gonna wait around for the Ioniq 6, who is much slower than us by like what, 2%, 1%. Yeah. So Team Model 3 is signing off. We'll see who arrives next after the Ioniq 6. But I think the race is pretty much decided. Lucid did not end up where I thought they would. That's the real story here.
You can see the charging power is limited not by the station, but by what the car is requesting. Station's giving us everything we want. We're up to 30%. We should probably think about maybe heading out, finding another spot to charge. 282 miles, so that'll be 140 to 140 mile stretches. Let's see what BMW thinks we could do. Cannot be calculated while charging. So we will only know, that's annoying, we'll only know when we unplug, which is like the least convenient thing. because how do we know when to unplug if it can't do a route plan while we're plugged in? We are trying to figure out where we want to go to charge, but all three of our Electrify America apps are not loading anything at all. So we're using Plug Share, and that loads perfectly. So it's not a cell signal thing, it's just like EA is down. So our plan is to split our trip in half in Lee, Massachusetts. We're going to charge to about 60% and then go to Lee, again charge to maybe 50%, and then head to Boston. That is the best trip time for us. We also, there's just so many options, it's kind of hard to pick which one. So that is kind of perfect. And if we need to stretch it, like if we can stretch it farther when we get there, we'll certainly look at options, but we just needed a target point to lock into. And it looks like sort of that New York, Massachusetts border is where we're honing in on. The Magic Dock did not overheat for us. There was no cable overheat, and that's how you know this car charges slow. When your car charges slow enough to not overheat Tesla superchargers, there's a problem. And we're only doing 100 kilowatts at 50%, and we know we should be doing deep into the hundreds there, and that is just the DC counter doing its thing. So our goal is to get to Boston as soon as possible, set the time for this car. We're still fully committed. Nothing changes. You know us, we're hardcore. So we are here to log the time, the trip time of the I-7.
We can still win.
We were the first ones out of Seattle because we knifed our way through traffic. We got onto I-90 first. And that actually paints an even worse picture for the car. I don't know where I was going with that.
All right, so we're gonna push the Lucid from here over to there. Thank you, sir. Enjoy the rest of your trip home, okay? And enjoy your car. Wish us luck. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and push it very slowly right across once this gentleman leaves. So we rolled it from there right over to here, and the charge port opened.
Charge port open.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Let's see if this 50 kilowatt can give us 350.
That might be wishful thinking.
All we want is anything.
3,095 miles comes down to the last 1 minute. Yeah, what's our timer? 48 hours and 50 minutes. We're gonna break the 49-hour mark. Oh boy. And our trip is complete. Oh, 2/10 short. There it is. Oh boy. Oh boy. What was the final? What do we got? What do we got for the final?
48 hours, 51 minutes, 7 seconds.
Well done.
Good job.
Awesome. Nice. Oh my good
How
lord.
much did we miss you by?
Just a quick little 49-hour trip.
15 minutes.
Wow.
15 minutes.
49 hours.
Just a quick.
If we hadn't gone to
Flew by.
It did actually.
Yeah.
If we hadn't gone to Duncan yet, it would have been
Oh my gosh.
Minutes, 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour.
3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. That's really pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys, did you convert it to that so that us
3.8.
understand?
3.8.
You guys got 3.8?
3.8 as a trip average. Our last section was 4.5. So are you guys surprised, or how surprised, or what do you expect versus?
I'm really surprised how close this was.
These two? Yeah.
And I'm honestly just really glad that we beat the which one?
Lucid?
No, the Mercedes.
Oh, EQS.
Yeah.
We had a little mid battle rivalry.
Oh, okay,
with them.
yeah.
When we went into this, on paper, that should have finished fourth.
Right.
Yeah. So we said if we could jump it up to third, that was kind of our unofficial team goal.
Nice.
And then we got really heated at the end, seeing you guys at Dunkin' Donuts going, we might be able to squeak out, we might be able to get two.
We would have been so upset.
You guys were like rubbing it in. Well, I did.
No, we just went to a charger that literally no bathroom, food, anything. We were dying. So we're like, okay, Duncan's right here. So we went to Duncan for 4 minutes. And that's when Kyle checked our location and he freaked out.
Sorry about that.
Typical Kyle, it's all right.
Yeah, it was good.
So, welcome. Glad we made it. I think maybe nap, shower, I don't know, not necessarily in that order. Sleep in the shower. Food eventually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Boston.
You guys got to get ready to unplug. I don't know where William's going. I think we're all losing. We're losing, yeah. Yeah, he's used to his Tesla. He thought he was going to unplug it. That's funny. Why is it only doing 75 kilowatts at 59%? Taycan's doing over 300. There we go. Let's go. So that was our first slow feeling session in a while. Can this guy get out of our way? What are you doing? Yo! And then it's off to our last charging stop. If everything goes well. This is awesome. Oh man, this was quite the ways away off the highway too. This was not ideal.
Yep.
All right, Shane, we're plugged in.
Yep.
What's the plan? What's the strategy? Someone tell me what to do, because I do not want to be part of this decision.
Yep, so, I mean, we'll just kind of go back to what our plan was and make our last charging stop in Albany.
Okay.
And we'll still, hopefully we can get out ahead of the I-7 somehow, somewhere.
All right.
I don't know exactly where they are, but...
So our goal is, what state of charge are we up to now?
We're almost up to 10, I believe.
10% state of charge.
Yeah.
That's way more than enough than we need to get
we
down.
need to go like 15 miles.
Okay, so I say we unplug, we get out of here. We got some food from Hannaford's over here. What are those down there? Those pumpkin things?
Pumpkin donut holes.
Oh man, I need a couple of pumpkin donut holes. After this, I may need to eat them all.
As we approach the end in Boston, what are your final thoughts on the Genesis G80 electrified?
It's great for a road trip in some ways. The charging speeds, the fact that our range estimator was pretty accurate for most of it.
Yeah.
Downsides, the infotainment kind of sucks. The highway driver assist is no good. I guess that's better than not having it at all. But
yeah, but it's pretty ponderous.
And I think the worst thing for me is the comfort of the seats.
It's not really I don't think it would be my first choice for a affordable luxury kind of car or affordable premium kind of space. Like I said, I mean, there's a lot of things to like about it. I like the styling for one. I like the way it looks.
I like it, and it's a pretty good road tripper. It's much better than my car at road tripping, but like I don't love it. I don't hate it either. Maybe it's just not my sort of thing. It does take a while to figure out all the buttons on the steering wheel. It's just not intuitive. Yeah. Neither is anything in the infotainment system. And to get battery preconditioning to work, which you really only need below 50 degrees, you have to use the built-in nav, which is just awful.
All right, we're at 13% state of charge. Shane, do the honors. Okay. There we go.
Double press.
All right. Alex, you've got the honors to continue the drive.
My pleasure.
And Shane, you're going to grab the back seat because you never get to sit in the back seat of your car. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit down and eat some sushi.
We got, what, 15 miles left?
15 miles left, showing 26 minutes, and we are doing our best to fight off the Mercedes, just through traffic. So we're trying to do this safely, but at the same time make sure we maintain as much speed as possible through what we have going on, which is, of course, Boston traffic. Being we're coming in at 3:15 p.m., we're going to start hitting some rush hours. So this is going to be real interesting coming up to the finish line.
All right, so what happened is the Model S Plaid, who we are just behind, went through the tunnel through the city, but I used my knowledge of Boston to say this is our only chance and we'll take the other route. And so we are on the surface streets, and I really don't know who's gonna win because this traffic is atrocious, and hopefully they are also in atrocious traffic and we can sneak in front of them because this is gonna be really close.
Come on. Don't they know
what we up to?
Gosh.
Everybody should know what out of spec is by now.
See, right there on the map, that's where we need to go. We need to get through this red light, cross a bridge, turn right, and we're there.
Is this what brides feel like walking down the aisle?
Yes. It absolutely is.
There it is! Yes!
Look who showed up. Phil Comment.
So this, can anybody make an authentic Boston accent?
You can do it better than anyone here, I think. So, Plaid team, are you
We so satisfied.
Surprised? Are you happy?
Yeah.
Are you
actually genuinely surprised? Yeah, I thought both of us would do a lot better comparatively. I thought the CCS networks would be a lot more problematic than it seems like they were.
Yep.
We actually had more problems. We used as much CCS as we did Tesla.
Okay.
Wherever there wasn't a high-powered Tesla, we went to a CCS charger.
Yeah.
We had more problems with Tesla chargers than we did CCS.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was
Wow.
pretty shocking.
Okay.
But I mean, going back, looking in hindsight, it doesn't have the best efficiency. The charging curve's not super great.
Right.
And those are the things that really matter the most here. So I don't think we should have been too surprised. But again, I think for me, the biggest surprise was how good the CCS cars did with the network.
Yeah.
That's really refreshing.
Yeah.
Really happy to see.
Yeah. I think we set out with this thinking, oh, the Teslas are going to have it so easy because of the charging network. And it's like, well, it is great. 6-second handshake. Gotta love it.
Yep.
But
We had a lot of 150s and actually 120s.
yeah, a lot of V2s that are not ideal along that specific route. If we had done 94, I think we would have placed even better.
Yep.
But like
locations too. There were a couple of them that took us 6 miles off
right,
I-10.
right.
We also
Yeah.
had a couple stations, V3 stations, that were pretty much full.
Yep.
We had a limited charging space. So.
We had even like a V4 station that was
Yeah.
kind of derated.
Yeah. Dang. Well,
Oh, is it them? It's them. Oh, they're over there. Oh, they beat us. You're joking.
No.
you still beat some German luxury.
Here we are.
And I didn't expect it to be this close either. That's crazy.
327 watt hours per mile, 3,083 miles, 42 hours, 36 minutes, and it is 3:49. So 350, what, 48, 47 hours and 30 minutes? I look terrible. I feel terrible. I want to go take a nap. But, you know, look where we are. Exactly 2 days ago, we were in Seattle at Starbucks headquarters, and now we're here. Birthplace of America, Constitution, right there. Not too bad.
So the Plaid made it with 4% state of charge left. And what was your efficiency overall?
Overall, we had 338 watt hours per mile.
Okay.
We drove 3,124 miles, and we
just over a megawatt hour. Wow. All right, Team Mercedes.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm hyped. I'm ready. Let's go back to Seattle.
Okay, good luck with that. The car was comfortable though, wasn't it?
Extremely comfortable.
I am jealous of your massage.
It was comfortable, and in retrospect, it was quite predictable and easy.
Right.
The Model 3, the Plaid, the Ioniq, and us were all sort of, we kept being together within like half an hour.
The cluster kept changing too.
And the order, but for 3,000 miles, pretty much that group stayed together.
All right, so this will be our official last charge of the race. Here we are in Albany, New York at the Evolve Electrify America. We're gonna plug in. This is a nice station. We've got a total of 6 350s and nobody's here except an EV9. One interesting thing is for some reason, the car has lost hold. And as we were coming over here, Alex, he was getting distracted, and all of a sudden we were rolling backwards. But you know, sometimes when you roll backwards, it feels like you're rolling backwards, but the guy in front of you is moving. Mm-hmm. Well, we were rolling backwards.
Yeah.
Anyway, look at this thing cranking up, 215.
Yeah, it put itself on roll somehow, some way. That's really bizarre.
333. Oh man, we gotta make up bumper stickers. 333. That's awesome.
Got EVgo as well.
Nice. Alrighty. What stop was this now? 28? 27. Alrighty. 3% at 416. 128.
Nice.
Wow.
128.
Well, here I am in Albany, New York, and you'll notice that there is no car charging here. This is a completely empty spot. And this is the Evolve New York Electrify America station. And when you come up close here to the Evolve New York station, you'll see that the unit is saying that the car is there for 178 minutes, and it's asking you, or whoever it is, to move the car. The only problem is there's no car here. So I don't know what's going on. Ghost car? New EV? Yeah, so we're gonna arrive with 108 miles of range at a 20% state of charge, and we're all thinking maybe we should go back and reconnect and get a little more juice.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna drive 65 on the
yeah, it was like, you know,
way.
yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, it's been a long day, but been a good one. Yeah. So we are now done charging for our trip. Okay, 2,948 miles, and we are 168 miles away from our destination in Boston, and we will see you in Boston. We'll probably check in a little bit here and there, but what a day, what a great car, actually. This Lucid is just fantastic, and I have been reacquainted with this car, and you know, the little things that I didn't even put into the video, it's just so much more refined than when I had mine. And so hats off to Lucid here.
And you know, I don't know if Dave said anything to this effect, but it was, yeah, it ran out of battery, but the process of getting it charged again could not have really been easier. You know, it really cooperated. It was easy to put into neutral. The charge door opened. It immediately started accepting the charge. There was no fussing or hacking or anything like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you, any of you dear viewers, but if it does, then you know, you can count on it too.
And also I just want to, and we all want to say thank you to the Lucid team for getting us and helping us source a tow truck, and we ended up finding one faster than they would, but you know what, we sometimes are resourceful, but they were super helpful, and really thank you so much for all that. We'll be checking in again, but what a day, what a trip, amazing.
It doesn't have the front motor here. Do you think you can put 1 or 2 bodies in this trunk, like standard size people, adults?
Definitely one at least.
Yeah. But I think you could bend up, put a second one in that part where it jags out.
Now a reading from the Genesis G80 electrified owner's manual.
Since we're stuck in Boston rush hour traffic forever, I dug through the owner's manual. I'll read from this caution here, because this one's a real gem. Do not keep the navigation system running with the engine stopped. Doing so may discharge the vehicle battery. When you use the navigation system, always keep the engine running. Hyundai, is it electric or is it combustion? Which is it with this statement? We had to make a pit stop. We found the Autel charger.
We're gonna plug in.
Yay!
Starting. It's the Autel guy charging our Autel charger.
I know!
In the Autel car.
Charging started. Get out of here.
Shout out to our sponsor Autel for sponsoring this video and this channel, but a Bolt's already using it.
Yeah.
And we're not going to share power. We're going, we need high power. I love our sponsor. Thank you, Autel. But no, we're not here to lose. We are exiting for our final charge stop.
Yay!
Finally.
I-7.
I think most of these stations have been new charging stops for me. I don't think many of them I've been to before, so that was exciting. It was great to see new locations, not the same, 12 chargers we use between Vegas and Fort Collins. So awesome to find new chargers that really worked well. I hope that doesn't jinx us right now, but we've had a great experience charging this trip. A couple of times we had to move for D-rates and stuff, but they really did a nice job. Where are we going? So we have like the club of slow charging EVs that are here right now, and we're part of the mix. And our port is on the back right. So we wouldn't be able to do that one, but we can do this one here. And let's just hope it's an ID4 that's full charging so we don't have to share power with them. So let's back this thing in. This is the busiest site of the whole trip.
The last time.
Perfect. Perfect.
I even beat him.
Yeah.
So the sharing doesn't seem to be limiting us. Come on, baby. It's knowing the BMW, it's also going to shut off the screen right before it gets to full power.
Oh.
Yep, every time. Every time. But we're pretty much getting it.
We're at 183.
Yep, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now we just need enough to get to Boston.
Yeah. No.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And we're Let's go! So, full rip. Just a little power on rotation never hurt anyone. The final leg into Boston is happening, and it is glorious. Cannot wait to get there.
We are trying some different modes in the BMW here.
Because we've only been in efficiency mode this whole drive, and we're like, we got some extra juice.
BMW.
So we're learning about digital
with the
art.
Creation of the 18 BMW art car. With the digital art mode, we have the chance to cooperate again and integrate my art into the software of the car.
Wow,
I think it is kind of a designate between BMW and me. The overall idea of my creation, Content Garden, is that I
Imagine if they
want to
put
draw
this much
a way
effort into
of
making it
interconnecting
chargeable.
multiple universes.
So, first.
Well, I could give a whole audio guide about how to optimize your i7 on a road trip.
Yeah, you should get your own block
Now
here.
I have some Chinese woman telling me about the art she's made on this street scene.
We're approaching the fanfare of no one's here to greet us. Jerks.
Nobody's here.
Here we are.
Woohoo!
It's
3113.7.
What time is it? 6:37.
6:37 p.m. 44 hours and 22 minutes of driving. Average efficiency of 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour.
Interestingly, we set the 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour at the very beginning in Washington, and it did not change the entire trip.
All right, well, here we are in Boston finally. What a long day. The USS Constitution, we're going to get in the right-hand lane. And we're going to go see this boat. No one's there. They've all left. All right, so guys, we've made it to Boston. And what a day. First thing I want to say is thank you so much for everything. Yep. I mean, we really, I think, you know, you get to know each other in these types of things, but boy, oh boy, this was some experience for sure. What are your final thoughts? I don't know, Alex, you want to start?
Yeah, the Lucid was really wonderful to take across the country. I mean, it's just a tremendous accomplishment. First effort from Lucid. Deserves all the praise that it gets. You know, just powerful, spacious, composed, luxurious. You know, I think there's a bit of work to do on the software. It was a bit annoying that one night for a fluke. Fortunately, it was a fluke that we lost all the ADAS assists. And then, you know, we can talk a little bit more about the charge curve too. But, you know, I think for someone who really wants a luxurious, sporty, grand touring sedan that's electric, you know, there are ways to optimize it and enjoy it in, that we didn't, where they won't need to shave every single second off and make even more of it than we did, even to really maximize that range like Kyle's been able to do, even if the charge curve isn't as competitive as the winner of this race. But yeah, very much enjoyed it and very much enjoyed rolling with you two guys.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts?
Pretty similar to Alex. It's been a crazy adventure, but it's been great every step of the way. And, you know, coming from someone who daily drives the Lucid, it's just such a joy to drive, and that's what I love the most about the car. It's such a solid, all-rounded vehicle. Sure, there's things that aren't great and things that need some work, but it's hard to find something that's so well balanced and well built. Just kind of a great overall package.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, listen, you know, getting back in the Lucid for me has been a fantastic thing to do. There's so many little refinements that I'm really happy about that I was able to kind of rediscover, and I think that was interesting. The fact that we could actually do lane changes is an amazing thing, right? That's an accomplishment. Yeah. But it's a lot of small refinements. Now, we, you know, obviously had a little bit of an interesting day today, running out of juice, or at least coming very close to running out of juice, and being smart about stopping and not letting it brick, if you will, and then calling for you know, backup but
you know, it just goes to show you that the data that we were working with, we made the right decision. I think that if we had to do this again, I would have, knowing what I knew then, I would have done the same. I would have done the same exact thing. And I think that we all pretty much, you know, had a consensus today in terms of what every single move that we were, how far should we charge, how deep into the pack, what state of charge. And so I think it really was a tremendous team effort that went even beyond just the three of us. I mean, there were a lot of phone calls to others. And so I thought it was an amazing thing. So we'll have lots more content. I'm thinking that perhaps over on the Out of Spec Dave channel, we actually may do a Zoom with the three of us as whether you're in Salt Lake or you're in LA or I'm in Connecticut. Yeah. And we want to kind of maybe reminisce a little bit about this. We've learned so many different things about so many different cars that I think it's important for us to really digest all this. We're pretty tired right now. I think we all need a beer and maybe a steak and maybe some sleep. But other than that, and absolutely shower.
Welcome to traffic. William, what do you think?
Slow.
Appreciate the commentary. See you later. As soon as we pass under Interstate 95 up ahead in about a half mile, we will be entering Boston proper. And at least we've made it this far. We still have another 20 minutes or so left to go with some crazy traffic, which I thought coming in on a Sunday evening we would have no traffic, or at least a very little amount of traffic, but I'm wrong. So it's at least better than us coming in on literally any other day.
These are Bostonians going to work early.
Yeah, they're getting to work early now. So we come under this little tunnel and we are in Boston. 3, 2, 1. Yay!
Yes!
We made it to Boston.
Well, there it is, Old Ironsides, the USS Constitution. We drove over 3,000 miles to see you, and we can't even get close to you because it's closed. But that's okay. There is a 3-master. You can see one there, the big mainsail there, and then, of course, the smaller sail right over there, with Boston right behind there, and of course, my client, State Street Bank. Look at that. Beautiful. Brand new building, as a matter of fact. I just went in there recently, but this is so nice. What a beautiful spot. Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, we are in Buffalo, New York. Pulling in for, I think, charge 27.
27, 28, something like that.
Yeah, there's a Longhorn Steakhouse. All right, we're rolling in at 7%.
7%.
Hopefully we have maybe 4 or 5 more supercharges, and then we'll be finally done.
Hello, we will be there soon. Would you like to open the parking suggestion?
God, this lady's the most annoying thing on the planet. Use that rear steer to get this big boat around the city. We have the largest car out of the group, no question. And this is it. This is the ending location. This is the pier. This is it, with the views of Boston in the distance.
Wow.
Wow, that is amazing. And we are here at 8:15 p.m.
Pull up the stats.
Hey, we did it.
I'll pull up the stats in a second. I'm going to stage the car for a photo. Boom! We freaking made it, folks!
Nice.
We didn't make it fast, but we made it. Since individual, 3,140.5 miles. 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. We've recuperated 80.9 kilowatt hours, so almost a full battery.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Of regeneration, which is really a cool stat considering we were just sitting on the highway the whole time.
Yeah.
I love how BMW shows that.
That's amazing.
And then on this last leg, I love how they also give you since last charge. We got 10 kilowatt hours of that. It was hilly, I guess. And 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. So it can be efficient if you're in traffic. Versus this sitting, wide open on the highway the whole time. Oh my goodness, glad we made it. So let's give parking lights, get some photos, and then do some final thoughts. I'm gonna hit the automatic door, which I forgot we had this whole trip until now.
Yeah, because it's slow.
It's really slow. That's the thing. All these functions slow you down. Well, guys, congratulations on the drive. That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
That was absolutely incredible, guys. I guess I'll go with you, Chris. Your impressions of the drive, the car, the trip, the journey.
Well, it was quite the journey. I loved it. I had never been up through that part of the country, so I've kind of knocked some bucket list stuff off. Remind me of a serious game because it's pitch black out there at night and you don't know what's going to happen. And so that was kind of fun. As far as the car, I think BMW did a good job on the structure of it, but they didn't win on the EV side of it. It was very difficult. We had some moments. Totally. And I'm not a fan of CCS connectors, as you guys will see. So thanks for having me.
It was really, really fun to do this with you. That was a dream come true. It was awesome. Will.
Yeah.
All right. So you're typically roaming Norway, but you're roaming America in this video. What was
the great United States? 13 different states, I think. It has been absolutely amazing an adventure that I will never forget, really. And the car, the BMW i7, has been comfortable. The sound system is amazing. The seats are amazing. We have the largest car and the most comfortable car of anyone. And it just misses on some EV stuff, which causes us to be slower than the other guys and gals on this journey.
I totally agree. Well, appreciate the assessment. Appreciate you guys joining me. We'll do more later on, but for now, let's get a couple photos of the car with beautiful Boston in the background. Absolutely awesome vehicle. The 7 Series is obviously built to do road tripping, just not the electric one.
Yeah.
The battery pack is the roughest part. Put the Taycan battery in here, and game over. I don't even care about the efficiency. Just give me the crazy fast charging, and this thing would be an absolute animal on a trip, because no question, BMW knows how to screw together a high quality product with honestly the best driver assistance I've ever used in my life. I don't know if we would have made it here so refreshed without that driver assistance. I really feel for people in the early Model S without adaptive cruise or lane centering. I really loved the car. It was just every charging stop was just painfully, agonizingly slow, and it kept getting slower and slower with our DC counter limiting performance. Anyway, that's it from our side tonight. I'm sure we'll have more to come tomorrow.
Okay, we are coming to the end of our 3,000 mile 3-day journey. So we were just sitting here talking, and just wanted to share a little bit of what we like, maybe what we don't like about this 2012 Model S, the old Model S as we called it on this trip. I'll start with a couple of things, then I'll hand it over to Tom. One thing that I missed about this car versus my regular Tesla is when you turn on the turn signal, you have a pop-up right here that shows what's going on the direction that you're turning. It does not have it in this car, so I was constantly trying to crank my neck back and make sure I wasn't going to hit somebody as I was moving over. Also, really missed no cup holders and no map wells in the doors. Gone. A couple other things. Very, very slow charging. USB-A, not USB-C. I know that's nitpicky, but when you're on a 3-day trip, it really helps to keep phones charged if you can get charged a little bit faster. So that's a couple things. Tom, what do you think?
I love this car. It does have its issues, charging speeds, things like that. I love the old school stocks, regular signals. I'm one of the small number of people who like this more than the modern ones. I have a 2019 Model 3 with those stocks, and I love these ones way better because they're traditional. Besides that, it's a really solid road tripper still.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm pretty impressed with how well the car's done on the trip so far. I mean, the battery and everything is in really good shape for being a nearly 12-year-old car. Charging speeds and stuff were actually a little bit better than what I had expected, initially going into this. And, even though we're pretty far behind the rest of the pack, for its time, this car was well ahead of its time, and even compared to a lot of the other cars that are on the market today, maybe not the ones we did in this test, but compared to some of the other competition, this car, you know, still comes out ahead of you know, some of the slower charging and the cheaper options out there. So yeah, it's certainly been a long drive, and there's been a few creature comforts that we've missed that we would see on a newer car, but overall this car's done pretty amazingly well.
This software, yeah, it's, you know, vertical screen and whatnot, but this car continues to get software updates. It's got a lot of stuff that our newer Teslas have as well. So, you know, the car's continuing to improve, even if it's getting really old. Anyway, just some thoughts. One other thing, you know, I think we just hit charge number 30, and we've got a couple more to go here. So definitely, you got to stop about twice as much. And as Alex said, the speed is half or a third what a new Tesla will do. So, you know, it's not perfect, but boy, they're a great value if you want to pick one up these days.
Yeah, so I mean, this car, like any other older Model S, just does not have anywhere near the kind of charging speeds nor the curve that a lot of the newer, you know, higher end cars have. So, I mean, at most we'll peak, you know, in somewhere in the 120s, you know, 120 kilowatt range, sometimes maybe 130 at the very most. And it pretty quickly tapers off. So really it kind of boils down to pretty much just making really short stops, you know, maybe 70 to 100 miles, and only charging up to like a maximum of maybe 50% whenever possible, just to maximize what little, you know, fast charging we have. Because once you get back beyond that point, the car just charges really slowly. So it's kind of about just sort of hopping from charger to charger to maximize our curve for, you know, what fast charging capability we do have.
Yeah, I will tell you, you gotta pay attention in this car. There is not only no autopilot, there is no traffic aware cruise control. So we are constantly having to feather that throttle, not only just to be efficient, like Tom said, but to not hit the car in front of you. This thing will not slow. There's no sonar, there's no cameras, there's no nothing. So definitely we had to be vigilant over those 3,000 miles. And it's a different experience. My arms got a little bit tired at some point.
Happy birthday to you.
You look so happy.
Happy birthday, dear
Pulling into the second to the last charging stop at 3%. And we are in Albany, New York.
Yeah, pretty close to Guilderland.
Close to Guilderland. It's 2 in the morning. We've got this charge, one more, and then we are done coast to coast. Look at that, 20 stalls.
20 V2 stalls.
Yeah.
I don't know that I know of any other V2 installations that are this big. 123.
123?
Oh, that's it. 123.
Guess what? It's our last supercharging session in our 3,070 so far mile trip across the country. So we're rolling in here at 4%. It's 3:53 in the morning. We usually like to start supercharging at the top of every hour.
Seems like it's always top of the hour.
Almost every time. So anyway, we're in a place called Chicopee, and I believe we're about 70 miles from the hotel, 80 or
yeah, something like that.
Yep. So we gotta do one more supercharge in this foggy, unfamiliar environment. But anyway, yeah, it's exciting. 3-day, 60+ hour journey, Seattle to Boston. Okay, that was our
124. Peak. That seems to be the go-to peak.
Last time we had charge number 32. We said it was our last on this Epic 3,100 miles so far road trip. Well, we decided to actually cut that charge session off a little bit early and take advantage to maybe run the pack down a little bit, maybe get it a little hotter. And we had a great opportunity to supercharge just a minute off the road. So, you know, the theory and the strategy with this pack is charge a little bit and charge often. So we are living that and just, again, trying to maximize the time here because we would really like just a couple hours of sleep. And this might get us there maybe 20, 30 minutes early. So here we are at one of New York's amazing oases.
Well, this one's Massachusetts.
Yeah, New York and Massachusetts. Yep, so you've got a couple restaurants, supercharger, gas station, all in one place that is literally seconds off the road. Let's do this. Okay, last time, handshake, contactors, and here we go. Let's see some kilowatt action. And it's
we're above 10% though, so
yeah, it's sitting at 94 kilowatts. So I think that's going to do it for this point. So we'll sit here for a few.
We're 5 minutes out.
Let's hit 549.
Should we? There's a TLX, I think. The first one's here, of course.
Oh, look.
Just fucking get here?
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations, guys. Glad I could be your welcome party. I'm about to leave for the airport.
Thank you for welcoming us.
How'd it go?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. Really glad you guys made it.
It was a long trip, but yeah.
Hey, man,
Finally made it.
63 hours.
Right with all of you guys.
Yes.
There we go. Awesome stuff, guys. You guys have everything squared away?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
We're going to go lay down for a couple hours.
Sounds like an excellent job.
Yeah.
This is my ride.
Cool.
Congratulations again, guys.
Good to see you.
See ya.
Yeah.
Oh, bingo.
Good.
We have arrived.
All right, let's grab stuff and put it close up. Okay, we made the trip and have arrived. We have all of the cars. I think the worst thing that happened was a cracked windshield. Congratulations on your performance this trip.
Yeah, it's been just epic. Really epic. This car is epic.
Well, guys, that kind of concludes the trip. Everyone has come through. We've staged all the cars here at the ending. And I think, Jordan, you and I should walk through the performance of all of the cars, starting with the winner, the Acura TLX Type.
I keep forgetting that was racing.
Yes, I don't know what they were doing for the first bit of the race, just dilly-dallying. The whole point was to see how much faster this was than an electric car. That's what we briefed them on. But I think I called them and screamed at everyone.
Right.
They got into the groove, and man, they seemed to have a blast in this car and absolutely just set the pace across the country.
They truly all three liked it too.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, we just needed a combustion car, and it's one of the best looking combustion cars on sale. And turbocharged V6 got it the performance to match some of the, entry level cars here.
Right, yep.
And even honestly not too far off Taycan in a straight line. And because that's the base Taycan. And so I'm just glad we had this. A lot of people asked for us to run a combustion car. Now we've done it. I don't know if we'll keep doing it, but at least for the big race here, done. Then let's get into the real hardcore competitors. Porsche Taycan, rear drive, big battery, dude. The J12 Taycan, this one right here, the PA, what an insane car, isn't it?
It really did feel like next generation electric vehicles racing against everyone else.
Clearly a step ahead of the competition. And we hear that from some other automakers as well, being the class leading in so many metrics. But then when you put it all together, where you're driving and charging and driving and charging, and thermals become, a big portion of this, this car just seemed to absolutely love being charged. 320 kilowatt peaks, doesn't come off 300 kilowatts till deep into the 60% or early 60% range. It comes off 300 kilowatts. And dude, their peak of the entire thing, or I should say our peak in the BMW i7, you can tell we're still tired. Our peak in the i7 was slower than they ever charged, pretty much.
Which is crazy. Yeah,
So-
at 60, they're doing more than 3 or 4 times what I was doing at 60.
All that really goes to show is Porsche really tests their cars. They put them through all of the crazy, use case, driver case. And even though most people probably aren't buying a Taycan and driving it across the country, it's kind of nice to know that you can, and it's faster than currently anything in our market, without question.
Well, you know what to expect. It always charges consistently. It even tells you on the screen what the charge level you can expect, or how many kilowatts you can expect being delivered and stuff. So that's, it takes the mystery out of it.
And it's a nice car. With this one had InnoDrive, and they used it, and I hope it worked pretty well. And it is just, we knew this was going to be a hardcore competitor. I don't think, Jordan, you and I even realized how hardcore this car really is.
I didn't expect, the spread to be quite like it was. I thought Acura would be way in front, and then all the EVs, and then the old Tesla. But the Acura wasn't that far in front of this one.
Yeah, pretty insane. Let's talk about another winner of this race, because how the hell did you beat everything else in a Tesla Model 3, the cheapest car here?
I was genuinely impressed by the cost and the performance and everything. I wasn't expecting to be on podium. So the fact that we were effectively second, because I don't really count the Acura, was crazy. And that was with this huge stretch of mostly V2 superchargers. So we weren't even optimized.
You probably could have been a bit faster with CCS, but you would not have caught the Porsche.
No, it would have been barely any different.
Either way, what I think I'm happy most about this trip is that the placement of the cars, except for the Lucid at the end, but the placement of the cars really is representative of their capabilities.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's not like one of those where it's like, oh, if only we had done something better with the car. I really think the placement here is the true placement.
And every team really learned optimization along the route. So
yeah, it was enough time to figure out your car and then implement strategies. Yep. So it felt like 600 miles too long at the end.
Yeah.
But it was really fun.
Yeah, it was great. And we never had to shut off AC. We never had to lose our cooled seats. We really worked well. The route planner started working even better and better throughout the drive. BMS seemed on point, but we never tested the buffer necessarily. We arrived at 0 many times, but never below.
Well, it seems like whatever you guys did totally worked, and it shows that Tesla builds one hell of a car for the money.
Right.
I mean, all I'm thinking about all of this is if you want the best, go for a Porsche. If you can't quite spend 80, 90, 100 grand on a Taycan, this one's 125.
Yeah.
But if you can get a base one for less than that, if you can't quite stretch it, you're getting pretty much an amazing road tripper for under $30,000 with tax credits.
And
not that this is like an ad,
yeah,
but it's crazy.
It's saying something when Tesla gives us the cheaper car. A lot of automakers are like, oh, please show our most expensive car. We want to really
we asked Tesla for a Model S long range, and they said, how about a Model 3 long range?
Yeah, exactly.
They said, should be better. And, well, it is. Ioniq 6, dude, another freaking insane performance, and what a value as well.
Another price point. They're discounted all over the country as well, because I don't think they're selling super well. But if you look at it, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
It's missing some features.
I think it looks interesting.
You drove this last night briefly after being in your i7 Chariot.
So William and I got in this last night. We were just like, oh my God, it's so plasticky. But we were in the i7 the whole time. The thing is though, Ioniq 6 price point's great. A lot of people don't want to drive a Tesla. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
There's either, for whatever reason, right or wrong, they don't want to buy a Tesla. This is almost as fast on a road trip. You got to work it maybe a little bit harder, work with the stations a bit.
Yep.
But what I would really love to see is if you had a perfect every station next to each other where, I'm sure you had some advantage with the supercharger network that came with the car. And we always say the charging network comes with the car that you buy. But I actually bet this might be faster.
Possibly, yeah.
Because they had to probably go off the highway a bit more.
They did, but we had to with some V2s. We had that long stretch of V2s that were also annoyingly off the highway.
Yeah.
So the thing is, these two are just really close.
Yeah, and I think it is representative of you buy a Model 3, you get a much better charging infrastructure than what this car comes with. But all this talk about 800 volt, blah, 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 I've never really bought into it too much, and I think, Model 3 is definitely not that.
Right.
And this is still pretty impressive, but dude, how is it that these cars are up front?
That was not what I expected.
So I really think These three deserve to be up in the front. I actually thought maybe Lucid.
Right. I was expecting Taycan Lucid to be 1, 2.
Yes.
And so we'll get to that in a bit. But this is interesting to see these being up behind the Taycan.
Model S Plaid. Long range, a fresh long range would have done better. Without question.
Yeah.
Not much better. And according to Tesla, not enough to actually give us another car.
Right. Maybe they will next race. I
don't know. But we called everyone. We tried to get a long range. This worked pretty well. And it just shows that, Model S is now 10 plus years old. We have an old one, of course, but this old thing has just been duct taped, revised.
There's some noises going on in this one, but
this particular one's lived a rough life, but still incredible performance that you can just get, the reliable, big car, lots of room, and it just boogies across the country.
Yeah. This has been all over the country many times now.
I bought this car to road trip.
Is a trooper.
And, I've had it for a few years now, and I feel like I'm still pretty pleased with that purpose of this car. It's easy.
Yeah.
Supercharging network's great. And, man, what a cool performance. It sounds like they had some issues with route planning.
Yep.
And also autopilot bugs, which is interesting.
Yeah. That could have been the car. But the route planner, they said, got better throughout the race. So did ours in the 3. So it really is learning as you're driving.
Yeah.
So.
And also less elevation and wind as we got on.
Which helped, yeah.
EQS, dude.
Comfortable,
consistent.
Right.
And I think actually an amazing road tripping car.
And they really learned to optimize it, again, like everyone else. But once they learned to optimize it and charge nice and deep, because it really does charge pretty well up top.
This is the car that actually is optimized for how most people probably want to road trip. Not hopping station to station, not trying to get it in a perfect state of charge. It's just a nice flat curve, extremely efficient for the size of it, great technology, great driver assistance. It happens to be really ugly, especially in this specification, but dude, I think this deserves its place squarely right here.
Yep.
I'm very pleased with how this car did, how the team optimized it. I love that Sebastian was along for the ride as well.
Yeah.
And certainly I thought this was going to be competition for us in the i7, not even close.
They had, great car.
And this is the pre-refresh car.
Well, yeah, which again, that could be better next time around.
Yeah, 118 kilowatt hours, so 10 more kilowatt hours, but similar efficiency, charging performance, stuff like that. Model year 24 did get some updates. They fixed the stupid brake pedal.
Good.
So that's all fixed in this car. We're gonna have this back. Actually, all these are coming back to the office for videos and testing. Genesis G80, the wild card.
Also needing the refresh soon, but
surprising to me, I thought it would do better.
Yeah.
Because you get that flat 170, 180 kilowatt curve all the way to 80. But then you're going up against cars that charge way faster and you hop from station to station. So even though they never really had to run this to 0 because it just pulls full power to 80, they ran the 80% rather than the 0% side of the battery.
Yeah.
The efficiency, don't know what it was actually.
I don't remember either, but not the most efficient.
We'll make sure all the data makes it in the video.
Not the best range. So that, it wasn't the best anything, but it still was decent, and most people would be fine road tripping it.
For a car most people don't know exists, did pretty well.
Right.
And, it's just, I think my issues with this car are route planning is terrible. The driver assistance, the drivers had some complaints about.
Yeah.
But they still did it. They still managed it. And shout out to Avis for letting us rent this.
Yeah, yeah. And the Ioniq as well, the route planning, same situation, useless.
Yeah.
The teams with these two cars were like, we didn't even touch it.
Yeah, that was like OBD mode, look at buffers, do all this math. And yeah, definitely was in there. The Lucid, dude, amazing performance, by the way.
Yeah.
Huge range. Fairly okay efficiency, but at high speed, of course, it goes down significantly.
It tanks above 70, basically.
So Lucids always perform really well in our tests. In our charging test, they have high peak numbers. In our range test, this car did 510.5 miles at 70 miles an hour. But of course, resistance increases exponentially with speed. And because this car is so efficient, I think it's actually even more sensitive to outside impacts, headwind, elevation, speed, which we had some of them on all of this drive. And certainly it goes to show the charging power and sustained charging power versus efficiency.
Yeah.
You kind of need both. And the Taycan was not too inefficient, but it had the charging performance.
Yeah, if this thing charged similarly to Taycan or even G80, like it would have been insane.
The team, we have to say we we have to do a whole thing on like why this car ran out and why it's in this place. In theory, this should have been second, third.
Yeah, that's what we felt up with the Tesla Model 3 in the very front.
We are pretty confident, and I mean almost 100% confident, no question, this was first place. Taycan was so far ahead by the time everything was happening.
Yeah.
But they were competing with you in the Model 3.
Yeah.
So this should have been second, third.
Yep, up there.
Yeah.
We had them in the bag at the very end, and we thought it was going to be really close. And then when they ran out, we were like, oh my gosh, that's it.
Seals the deal. And, you know, we're not here to, fudge anything. This is how they arrived.
That just shows, shameless plug to our recent shirt, but don't necessarily trust the BMS, because a lot of these cars might have had weird things right below zero after this race.
Absolutely.
And the fact that they tried to go below zero 2,500-ish miles in, after a constant charging.
Yeah, there's no resting voltage. The cars are always guessing. Same with F-150 Lightning when it ran out in our race. And so a car that, a week ago went 30 miles past zero, today shut off at zero.
Yeah.
And so now it might go 30 miles past zero. Again, it's had a time to rest and recalibrate and recalculate.
Yeah.
But, these are the things that make the Lucid almost a little bit difficult, because charging was slightly unpredictable.
Yep.
The performance was not so repeatable. And I think they really enjoyed the car. I think they had a great, comfortable cruiser. We love the Lucid. We're huge Lucid fans.
I was jealous because I've done a lot of road trips with this recently.
Yeah, I haven't still road tripped this one.
And the Model 3 does not have these seats remotely close. And we were sore, whereas the Lucid had massage. Every time they were cycling through, they were getting a nice massage.
And talk about just a good team and good team spirit, too.
Poor Dave has run out now twice on these 2 cross-country road trips. And
3 times. Oh, because the first Lightning trip, then the second Lightning trip, now the Lucid.
It's never actually been his fault. Like, they should have been able to make it, but...
The car told them to charge.
Yeah.
We can't blame them for that. Well, all we can say is we thought we could use the buffer. We were told by Lucid, use the buffer.
Well, and
so we were doing, it's what I would have done.
By our pre-existing data, we did what we thought.
Yeah, absolutely. We did and that's where consistency comes into play. But at the end of the day, up until that moment, this thing was doing great, but it's certainly on a road trip, no Taycan competitor.
But how crazy is it that this thing died, got towed, had to get to a charger, waiting around, and still didn't get in last?
I was over an hour behind them, I think.
And you were racing.
Dude, I pushed this thing as hard as we possibly reasonably could do.
That is wild to me. I did not expect this.
First of all, it's the least efficient here because
it's almost up to your weight.
Okay, it's the most comfortable car here. EQS is very comfortable, but this is another level.
It is.
It is the closest thing to a Rolls Royce without the spirit of ecstasy right here. And I can't wait to get back in this car and drive it more, because just driving it around the city, I dropped Chris off the airport last night. I'm like, this is what this car is built for.
Yeah.
He's got the massage executive seats, chilling in the back. I've got a great sound system, absolute complete quietness in the car.
Yep.
You hear not just a little bit of road noise, you literally hear nothing. So it's like you're in a cinema and you've got the movie sound muted and stuff's just going by.
It's crazy. Other cars have this like massage stuff and shades and things, but this is on its
legit.
own level.
Yes. So
in the same way the Taycan is with like technology, this one is in quiet and composure.
BMW knows how to build an incredible car, and they've proved it here.
Yeah.
They do not know how to build a good electric car, and they've proved that here. The fact that there's a DC counter that limited our performance throughout the trip, and it got worse and worse and worse and worse, and we stopped and even took the time to AC charge the car to try and reset it, didn't work. Car needs to sit for 2 days.
We were hoping to have a 7 Series combustion. That would have been the craziest disparity.
Yeah. Now I kind of know why there was not one available. But dude, props to BMW for like loaning us this car, and like I'm sure they knew it wasn't going to do well, but it's still really cool for them to show up and do this, because I've fallen in love with the i7.
Yeah.
I just want the Taycan battery in here. If this had the Taycan battery, I don't even care about the efficiency. Just make it charge really well. That'll, obviously that offsets efficiency.
Yeah.
That's my style. Just pump the juice in it.
Well, that's the Silverado EV thinking. Like, terribly inefficient, but it charges and has a huge battery.
It's also like, for the car to be efficient, you need to like drive smoothly, and I like to rip. So just give me kilowatt hours, give me capacity. So anyway, dude, I'm really disappointed with the range and charging performance. The 10% challenge of this is not going to be great.
It's going to be terrible.
Yeah. And this is the full range spec. Yeah. But if I had to do this race all over again and pick a car,
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't care we came in late. We literally had incredible driver assistance. I sat there like this. I looked in the mirror when I wanted it to confirm a lane change, and it just And
That's wild.
it never glitched. We had not a single glitch. It's like, okay, BMW tunes the cars to the last 1%. I just wish they cared about the electric stuff as much as they care about chassis and comfort.
I mean, how crazy is it that Tesla, which is known for autopilot and stuff, had some issues and you didn't?
Right. No question. We all agree. And William's a Tesla guy. I own a Tesla. Chris owns 2 Teslas. I mean, I guess I own 3, right? We're all Tesla people. This is a better highway driver assistance than FSD or basic autopilot right now, without question, not even close.
And rides better than the Model S, even though they're both air.
Yeah, and
So
this just is the most
air.
natural driver assistance. It just does what a human would do. It gets in close when you want it to. It gives space when you need. I love that car. I would take it again really bad in this challenge, without question.
Genuinely amazing.
Old school, dude.
It made it. There were people in the audience or in the crew who weren't sure if it
Really?
would. Yeah. Some people were like, it could break because it's old.
Think about when this car was produced, and still maybe even today a little bit, but when this car was made in early 2013, Tesla's going to fail. They don't know how to build a car, right? They're not reliable. They're not going to last. EVs are going to break down after a few years. You're going to have a broken microwave in your driveway. It's going to burn down.
Yeah.
And here we are, 120,000 miles on a Model S.
125,000 now.
12 years after it was produced, and it was rock solid for them the whole way.
And to their point, still better than some of the quote unquote Tesla killers that we did not bring in this race.
I bet this would beat a Mach-E across the country.
That would be
wild. Certainly faster than a Bolt or something like that.
Right.
It's efficient. It charges really poorly. So when they nerfed the 85 packs, that was this car's main Achilles heel.
Yeah.
But dude, the team, they optimized this perfectly. Single digit arrivals every time, without question. And they just charged enough to make the next station and boom, 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 boom. And to be honest, they were slower. I mean, it is amazing to see how technology has improved from this early Model S to now the Model 3.
Right.
And it's just been so little incremental improvements that we haven't had this Tesla breakthrough that everyone's been hoping for in range and charging performance, but it's just happened over the last 10 years of iterative improvements. And it just, I'm so thrilled that we had this car here. To me, this was the most exciting of the bunch.
Yeah, me too. Everyone thought it was cool seeing a quote unquote ancient Tesla.
And to be honest, it's not that bad. I mean, I drove this car from San Diego to Seattle ahead of the race and was just absolutely blown away.
Right.
So anyway, there we go. That's the race. We'll do more later on, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you all on another one again soon. Goodbye.
Thank you for joining this epic voyage of scientific discovery. It's amazing to see how far we've come in EV road tripability, and we are so excited to see the future as it constantly approaches. This cheesy corporate music reminds us that this journey was epic, with new memories created during a total of over 30,000 cumulative miles and nearly 200 delicately planned charging stops. Friendships were made. We laughed, we cried, we ran, we got lost, and we learned so much about the car capabilities and our own competence. We are so excited for whatever next adventure awaits. We'll see you there.
This can be something we never forget.
203, let's go, baby!
Don't try this at home.
No, don't try this at home.
William, do you think we'll make it?
I guess so.
It's just game over.